center. It would be nice to have some text right here, though. Anywho, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Morning Medley number 246. Hope everybody had a good weekend. It is Monday, and since Mondays are a little slow, that means I'm going to do the medley at the top. So I'm going to start it now. Should end around, the medley portion of it should end around 10-ish, maybe 9:45. I'm going to be starting with some flight plan. I'm going to start with flight plan, since I never do anymore. just did. I guess it's better than bad, huh? sure this is quarantine's fault, says Lindsay, but I just want to go somewhere. I don't have any particular destination in mind. Yeah. Where do I want to go? that's the maximum amount that line will allow me to give to you for your birthday. Huh. Hmm. Where is it? No, it's definitely not that. Hmm. Sorry, hearing weird things. Okay, it's 9:41. Getting through the final dregs of the morning medley. I never know how good the mic is on my phone because like sometimes I'll hear really weird stuff in the neighborhood and I can't tell if you guys can also hear it or not. Um, we're very quickly nearing 250. 250, which is of course going to be a production stream, but it also marks the halfway point, to season three or whatever. Season three or whatever. Oh, I'm gonna have some enthusiasm. It marks the halfway point to season three of Morning Medley. In which case, I'm going to be doing a few changes to the stream, and I'm going to start working on those changes on 250. So basically, you guys are not going to see any of the changes being made to Morning Medley. But starting this Friday, I'm going to start working on the changes that I'm going to implement. We're going to hear a lot of the changes that I'm going to start implementing. Ooh, and on 300. So on the 300th episode, the start of season 3 of Morning Medley, I will be nothing wild, right? Let me temper expectations. I'm not gonna be like performing in Hollywood Bowl or anything or doing anything wild. It's not gonna turn into a lifestyle vlog. But there are going to be some slight changes. Think about the way the production stream used to be, right? When the production stream used to be like me holding my phone, aiming it at my computer screen while trying to produce stuff and like propping the phone up while I record things. It's wild to think that we used to be there. It's very heartwarming to me that you guys were even willing to come into a stream so janky. Because the production stream has come a long way. It's a lot more organized now. Still, things can be improved. Things can be changed. But I'm just saying, I'm saving a lot of those instead of implementing changes gradually. I'm instead of doing the approach like I did with the production stream, where it was like I had everything organized, and then I had a designated stream in which we were going to roll over to the new way that the stream was going to go. Yes, yes, and I'm doing the same thing now. Some of the stuff is kind of already like heavily considered and is in the like infancy of its organization, but I'm actually going to start working on it on 250 because I feel like 50 streams. Let's say I only work on it on weekdays. If I'm only working on it, that's 50 days. That's 10 weeks. That's pretty. I feel like that's pretty good. Starting this Friday, we have like a 10-week countdown to season 3, and then I will change some stuff. I'm not gonna shave my head. I'm not gonna change locations. It's still gonna be in my room. I'm not gonna tell you what I'm changing, but I can tell you what is going to remain the same. There's still going to be music, of course. It's still going to be called Morning Medley. It's still going to be in my bedroom. Nothing wild is going to be changing. Just little small things to Improve UX. Yo, somebody like talked my ear off yesterday about UX. They went on for a long time, guys. I'm a big texter. I'm a person that texts big when I have something to say, but I break a lot of my texts into smaller, bite-sized chunks. I don't know if this makes sense to you guys. There are like two types of big texters. There's the bite-sized chunk texter where you'll get like 50 unread text messages, and then there's the type of person that just texts the limit that they can, and it's like maybe you only get 5 unread texts, but every text is like a small light novel. I do the bite size thing, and so anyways, this person was giving me the light novel size text about UX and the difference between UX and UI. I had never heard UX before because I'm not a tech person. I don't do software design. So I didn't know that user experience was a thing that was abbreviated to UX. I knew about user interfaces, but that was mostly because I played a lot of video games. Anywho, they were talking to me about UX, and it got me thinking about the way I treat the stream, the way I think about the stream, um, and a lot of those things are UX based. I wanna make this stream the first and last stream I use that term as often as I'm already using it now. But for example, when I was doing the Instagram streams, you guys remember the Instagram streams? Some of you were there, some of you weren't. It's fine. The Instagram streams were fun, but they didn't have a regular time because I was instead prioritizing my own needs over the UX, the user experience. You guys being the users and me being the used, I guess. I felt if I had a designated time where it's like the same time every day, that makes your guys' life easier because whether or not you want to come to the stream, at least you mentally know I'm doing it at the specific time. You can wake up and go, "Oh, Jan, wow, it feels good to be alive. Oh, I wonder if Omni's streaming today." And you look at the calendar and you go, "Well, it's Tuesday, so yeah, he is." I would like to have consistency, so I have some level of reliability to help the user experience of the morning medley. Most of the changes going forward have been for a user experience. For example, the production stream, you guys couldn't hear a good quality sound. You were hearing like the sound bouncing off the walls of my room. You weren't actually able to see the DAW regularly. It was kind of like a choice. I either had to have the camera on the DAW, or I had to have it on me playing piano, or I had to have it on my face while I was talking if I was trying to explain something with gesticulations and whatnot. Lots of sound clash. If there was like landscaping outside, you just couldn't hear the music. It was impossible. And so I was thinking about that. I don't actually look at my streams. I know that's like a big part of what I should be doing, watching my own streams so that I can like see what the user experience is like. Hello, Kyoya. And so I haven't gotten to that point yet, but I can feel it. I can feel generally like you guys give me the benefit of the doubt, which I do appreciate, but there are some things that I know are very janky about the stream. And I have been, as not a streamer, remember this was like a side fun thing for me while I focused on more prioritized engagements, like actually producing music. Um, I've started thinking more about the user experience, the UX. I've never thought about a stream having UX. Yeah, well, me neither, until like, I mean, I think I have, but I've never thought about it in terms of user experience. I've just thought about like, how can I make it better? And I think better doesn't necessarily pertain to me. It more so pertains to you guys. And so now the Friday stream is a lot better for you guys. Not only because it starts at the same time this does, but because it lasts longer. And because now I have like the webcam set up to where it's like you can kind of see things. Things are a little bit easier to understand. It's about making the experience a little bit better for you guys. Or easier. Maybe not, well, both. Both can be true. Making it easier for you guys to engage with and less annoying, I guess. Instead of saying better, I'm just going to say less annoying. What are the things that are annoying about the stream? At some point, probably around 260, I probably we'll have like a scheduled like talk where you guys, the core of the morning medley, I will just poll you guys on like, what is the most annoying part of the stream? What is the wackest part of the stream? And I'm going to steel myself in my nerves. I'm going to eat a lot of I'm gonna eat a lot of fruit. I'm gonna have a lot of vitamin C, so my feelings don't get hurt. I think that stops your feelings from getting hurt. I'm gonna eat a lot of fruit, and I'm gonna get in the stream, and then you guys can just give me the hard facts. Like, what is the worst part of the stream, and then I can try to compromise and be as helpful as possible. Um, that is not this stream, by the way. That is not today. That'll be at a future date after I actually start, getting back to the drawing board. Continuous improvement is the key, baby, says Liana. Yeah, not to stagnate, right? Again, I'm not a streamer, and I think that was the thing that I was saying for a long time, and I don't know what exactly that phrase is supposed to do. Maybe it makes me feel better for having a janky stream. Maybe it makes me keep my priorities in check. Like, this is not my priority, Morning Medley. I love it, and I love you guys a lot. But my priority is obviously making music, working on commissions. But it's like, that doesn't mean that this has to be the worst, jankiest thing ever. I'm not going to put up a green screen behind me and have, wild visuals while I'm playing piano. At least that's not the goal right now, Instead, I'm just trying to figure out how I can make it less annoying for you guys while also not taking up the entirety of my energy, day, efforts, whatnot. Word up. I'm so curious what makes the medleys easier and less annoying. Yeah, me too. But again, that's not the stream. Don't tell me now. Bro, what inspired you to write Gucci and Coliseum? You know what? Have you ever been in the stream before? I'm gonna answer your question because it's a very valid and cool question. But somebody has come in the stream and asked, maybe not that exact wording, but they did ask me what inspired the exact two songs you're asking about. It's pretty funny. But I will. This is kind of my first time. Well, welcome. Thank you for being in the stream. I appreciate you. So first of all, let's talk about Gucci. I'm gonna give you a lot of information about Gucci. So buckle up. Is it Ayush? Probably gonna fumble this a few times. So my first attempt is Ayush. My second attempt. Good morning, Ram. My second attempt is Ayush. Did I pronounce it correctly the first time? Ayush? See, now I've forgotten what I said the first time. Ayush. Well, I think that's what I said, so please correct me if I'm wrong. Don't let me get away with it. Ayush, thank you for being in the stream. Thank you for making time. The first song that you're talking about or asking about is the Gucci song. So the song Gucci was originally a remix. On Twitter, Ayush, I would post a lot of videos just like remixing popular hip-hop songs because that's what like got engagement and traffic. People really liked Lil Pump at the time, and he had just had that song out called Gucci Gang, and there was already a lot of remixes of it, but most of the remixes of it were like trap remixes and like really aggressive EDM remixes. So I was like, I'm gonna make a chill, like housey remix of it. Mostly just for live sets. I wasn't planning on releasing it. It was going to be something that I just played live to get like the crowd to go like, oh, I know this song, but have like a new spin on it. It was a remix. After I made the remix, a lot of people would steal. It just something about the very simple beat and those chords. I get it, by the way. I've spent a lot of time studying this after I release it, and I kind of understand why people like it, but a lot of people liked it. And what they would do is they would take the song and they would take a little bit of a measure, Ayush, that the vocal wasn't on, that didn't have Lil Pump on it, and they would loop that version and re-upload it as their own song, or they would go like, 15 hours straight of Gucci Gang minus Lil Pump, and everybody would be like, oh, this is sick. And after a while, I started getting erased from having made the song. Because essentially, if you take a Gucci Gang remix and you take away the original artist, then it's just me. It's like an Omni Boy song, but people were uploading it as their own. And so I was like, okay, fine. I didn't want to release this plain beat because I knew that if I released the plain beat, somebody would download it and then just rap over it and say it's their song. That's kind of why I liked having the Lil Pump vocals on it. But I ended up getting beat by the internet, and I said, fine, I will release it. If people are going to be profiting off of it, I would at least like to be one of them. So I released my instrumental, basically, of a remix. And I just took the word gang off of it and kept the name Gucci as the title of the song. And then I had a neighbor do the cover art for it, and I just uploaded it. It was like a Lucy, like a single. It wasn't on an album, on a mixtape or anything. It was just it was just at the time it was just a song, like a freebie. Put that out. So that is what inspired Gucci and the story behind Gucci. The second track that you're asking about is called Coliseum. The year that I was working on Lush Dream, I went up to San Francisco for work. I had like a lot of work up there, and was also visiting friends and like seeing people. It was cool. It was like business and a lot of fun too. But I was away from home for quite a while. I'm trying to remember the Coliseum chorus. There it is. Okay. So I was spending a lot of time up in the Bay, Ayush, and there's a metro system in the Bay called the BART. I think it's Bay Area Regional Transit or Rapid Transit. Doesn't really matter. Does not matter. But they have a train system up there. And I would have to take it a pretty far distance, basically from the beginning to it. Thank you, Liana. It's rapid, it's not regional. I would have to take a pretty long trip on it every day that I was up there, because the studio that I was working in was in the Mission area. I don't really need to get the specifics. I don't know where you live. Maybe the Bay Area. Specific terminology is useless to you. I was basically taking it from one end all the way to a very far away other end. And on the other end, there was a stop called Coliseum. And I remember when I fell asleep on the BART, a lot of times I was waking up at Coliseum. So I just got really used to seeing like the Coliseum sign fly by. And yeah, it was just at the time I was working on a lot of music. I was writing a lot of music, and that the name Coliseum kind of stuck in my head. And in fact, Ayush, if you go on YouTube, which you're already on, if you go on YouTube and you look up the music video for Coliseum, you'll see that sign, and you'll see the like train stop that I was talking about, because I ended up shooting a little like cell phone video. Yeah, I just get constant good vibes from it, says Ayush. I can't explain it, but whenever I hear those two songs, I feel like I'm in GTA and life just gets a little better. Well, being in GTA sounds terrifying to me, but that's really, really cool that it gives you some peace. I think that, I'm not going to go too deep into this, but for a long time I would make very complicated songs. Then I would get really bored in a stream, or I'd be doing improv and I would just kind of rest on like 2 chords or something like that, play something really chill. Gucci and Coliseum do share some of the same chords. Coliseum is this, and it ends on this chord, which is the first chord from Gucci. They're very closely related, so I don't think it's random or wild that you're drawing a connection between those two, and that they both give you the same, feeling of peace. I think doing really, really, I'm trying not to use the word low effort, doing really like a laid back, what's the R word? When you're keeping yourself restrained, like having like restrained chords. People like that. And when I say people, I kind of mean everyone. There's a track by Yeji. If you know the producer Yeji, artist Yeji, you might know the song I'm talking about. If you don't worry about it. But there's an artist named Yeji. Puts out a lot of music. A lot of it can be pretty complicated, but one particular song she has out called Rain Girl is so simple. I think there's only 3 chords in it, and she kind of says the same like few phrases over and over, but it's one of the dopest songs, and it's definitely, to date, her most popular and most remembered song. I think there is something to be said about dumbing things down. Dumbing things down, like even the word dumb in there is kind of negative. I think there's something to be said about like practicing restraint, just doing like the bare bones, allowing the mood or the emotion to live in the music instead of trying to force it, Rambling now at this point. But thank you, Aisha. I hope I answered your questions. I 100% get what you mean. Old GTA actually has very relaxing atmosphere. What are we when we say old GTA? What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Are we talking about GTA 2? Are we talking about GTA 3? Are we talking about the top-down GTAs? Are we talking about the like basically GTA 3 like um, DLCs but were full games? Like Vice City and San Andreas might as well have been Grand Theft Auto 3 DLC at that point. It's just DLC didn't exist at the time. Rim says I use 10 trees would be what? Everyone was trying to kill you easily. Police were always like a negative outlook towards you. Oh boy. Have you heard of Otis McDonald says Ayush? I have. His song Sunday Skate and Golden Gate. Oh wow. Hey, Ayush, whoa. Ayush, do you live in the Bay? Really good. I feel like it will fit your vibe. Check it out when you have a chance. I am very, very familiar with this artist. And are you kidding me? Otis McDonald. You know what's really funny, Ayush? You know what's really funny? Okay, so my TV station, sorry. Ayush, you know what's really funny? My TV, I just got a new TV last year. It's a Samsung TV. Trust me, I'm getting to the point. Since it's Samsung's a Korean company, I get a lot of Korean channels. One of the channels I get is called Asian Crush. A lot of the movies that I watched last year from this channel, I don't watch it so much anymore, but I'm probably going to dip back into it pretty soon. Quarantine's not ending anytime soon. I need something to eat up my time that's not Genshin Impact, so I've been watching a lot of Asian TV channels. The one of them in particular called Asian Crush has a jingle, and the jingle is made by Otis McDonald. And it's the track called... Oh, crap. Oh, what is it called? I can't remember what the name of the song is, but it's got like this really pitched up vocal. It's very, very catchy. It's so good. And I honestly would not know I wouldn't know Otis McDonald existed if it wasn't for, because I got a new TV that had this weird Asian channel that has a jingle by Otis McDonald. That's the only reason I know this person exists. So it's really funny that you would bring them up in the stream, because I've never heard anyone mention this artist's name ever. I couldn't even Shazam it. I had to like listen really closely. I don't think it's Holiday. This is so silly. I don't want to look it up. But if you want me to bad enough, I will take the 2 minutes it's going to take in the stream for me to look it up. Played GTA 1 Vice City, but I was talking about Vice City. Word up. Vice City's different. Vice City's a different beast, right? Because I think Vice City's art direction, if I'm allowed to call it that, Vice City's art direction and soundtrack were more remembered and experienced than the actual story and gameplay. I think a lot of times when people think of Vice City, they think of like 80s Miami imagery, and then they think of 80s music, and they're just like, it was so cool. Because that's what I do. I often think like Vice City, as embarrassing as that might be, introduced me to a lot of 80s music I was unaware of, you know? I think Flock of Seagulls I found from Vice City, right? Anywho, 1 through 3 are not chill. Those games are difficult AF. Word. I feel that way about all Grand Theft Autos. I think that Grand Theft Auto 5 is the easiest Grand Theft Auto I've ever played. I don't know why the early ones were so hard. Ava says, I guess it could be I was too bad at the super old ones for them to be chill, but... Whoa. That was weird. Anyways, Holiday by Otis. I don't know what the name of the song is. Daniel says, I remember playing the free trial of GTA Chinatown Wars over and over as a boy. The music was so weird to me at the time, but it makes everything you do feel so cool. Soundtracks can be a huge impact on the UX. I'm gonna stop saying that. If I'm talking about soundtracks, I recently played a game called Super Hot, which was really, really good, by the way. I think it deserves the ratings it got. I do feel like it was a little short for how much I paid for it, but it has no music in it. And as somebody who is, you know, as a musical being, I will say I think it was a choice. I think it was a creative choice to not have music, and I think they made a choice, and it did contribute to a vibe that I'm sure they were trying to create. but I I will say that I would like to have listened to music. Maybe I'll play it again and I'll like throw on some Spotify this time. Anyways, Ava says I beat Vice City, got the mansion on the side of the island, and drove around using it as a sandbox game. I beat Vice City, but I'm gonna be honest, I did use codes to beat it. It was very hard for me. Um, Moving on right along, I used to trust me, if you can listen to Sunday Skate and Golden Gate right now, I encourage it. Hopefully you'll get inspired by it. Maybe, yeah. I mean, Otis McDonald is very, very good. Otis McDonald does a thing that I actually do a lot, which is makes an entire song and then samples his own song. He's yes, he is very good at that. Anywho, Ava says, Superhot is so cool. I want it so bad. It is very cool. Do you not have it? Why do you know it's cool? Did you play a demo? I don't know what's going on with you right now. No music? I can't imagine playing a full game with zero music. Yeah. It's a good game, though. I can't say much about the game without spoiling it, but I would say everybody who plays games should play it. Because I would argue you don't even necessarily need to be good at games maybe to play it. It does such a good job. Some games just do a good job of being what they are, if that makes sense. Like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know when you get into some games and it just feels like they understand. Maybe this is like me projecting a little bit because of my experiences specifically in certain games, but I feel like sometimes you play a game and it's like I don't even feel like I was challenged physically with like the dexterity of my fingers. I feel more like they brought me along on a journey and I was just there for every step of the way. Like I got the puzzles, I got, I felt the story, I understood the characters. It was just really straightforward. And since Superhot's a fairly simple game, I think that was easier to accomplish. However, I should mention that I did not play it in VR. It is a VR game that you can also play without VR. There's two versions of it, right? I played the majority of the game as Candy, says Ava. I don't know what that means. As Candy? I've seen bits of it in trailers and want to have the VR experience. Well, that's cool. Definitely, yeah, I would recommend the game. Superhot, I feel benefits from the lack of music, being how minimal the atmosphere is. I agree with you, Daniel. That's why I said I think that it 100% accomplishes. I think it was a creative choice, and it accomplishes what it was set out to do. And if music was in it, it would have failed at the thing it tries to accomplish. I just, as a musical person, sometimes it's like music helps me get into a certain vibe, but I totally feel that the vibe that the game successfully accomplishes would have been lost with, a fairly engaging soundtrack. I'm recommending it to every gamer everywhere. Wow, it's great. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of early Steam. It has a lot of the feel. It reminds me, like, it feels like a game that should have came out around the time Portal came out. Those games that, like, were fairly simple in their premise, but, like, halfway through you were feeling like, whoa, like, okay, alright. Like, Braid. Did anybody play Braid? Did anybody play The Witness? Oh, please tell me somebody in this chat has played Braid or The Witness, please. Please. GTA Vice City you can play as NPCs with cheat codes. Says, oh, you're talking about GTA. Sorry, I was talking Superhot, and then when you said play as Candy, I got confused. I know who you're talking about. Shadow Memory Bad. Never remembered her outfit though. Word up, Ava. It actually reminded me of Portal and how sterile everything looks. Absolutely. I played a demo of Witness, says Ava. I'm aware of Braid. I watched it be played. Didn't play it myself. The Witness is on my list, but alas, you haven't gotten to it. The List, Braid, Superhot. I think all these games. I don't think this spoils anything. I don't think that this spoils anything, and you guys know how sensitive to spoilers I am, so I would never want to spoil things for you guys. But I will say there are a lot of games, and this is a particularly indie game thing. I haven't seen any AAA titles do this because I think it's too risky, and I think it's definitely more of an indie dev thing to do, where you give somebody pretty simple things, right? Where you're just like, okay, put the ball in the basket. And then the player goes, oh, okay, and you put the ball in the basket. And then the level 2 starts up, and it's like, put the ball in the basket. By the way, you're using a purple ball, and the purple ball cannot be thrown. You have to place it. And it's like, okay, that's easy. And then you put the purple ball, and then it's like, okay, put the ball in the basket now, and the basket's moving. And then gradually, the game pulls you into this very, very convoluted, complex series of like problem solving and logic puzzles and story, but they do it under the simple premise of put the ball in the basket. So many indie games, like I would have a list of at least 30 games long, guys. So many games are built like this. That freaking, what was it? Something is You game. It was like, I don't know, you know what I'm talking about. That game was like that. Um, Baba Is You? Yeah, Baba Is You is like that. The game Minute is like that. There's a game Minute where you literally only have 60 seconds technically to beat the game. And at 60 seconds you die. And it introduces a lot of weird elements to the game. Like you have to do really weird things. It's interesting. Like a lot of games are like that. Portal being maybe one of the most popular versions of that is like, okay, you have a gun where if you shoot a thing here and you shoot a thing there, you can walk through the doors. But then the puzzles get so complicated and like mind bendy that halfway through the game you're like, well, I'm doing really like complicated stuff with a very simple game mechanic. And I think um, then those games that weave in story, games like Braid that wove in story to that, games like Witness that wove in story to that, games like Super Hot that wove in story to that, like games that weave in actual narrative to that, like I'm always gonna love that. I'm always gonna be a big fan of that. But anyways, want to kind of move away from that. That game makes my blood boil, says Ava. I can't do it. It's too hard. My favorite is Hyper Light Drifter and Hollow Knight. I'm basic. Aw, you are a little basic, Ava. But aren't we all? I want to say something about both of the games you just wow. Both of the games you just talked about, but I can't. All I will say is that I am a fan of Hyper Light Drifter. And the studio that Hyper Light Drifter... Oh, wow. This is actually cool. I'm glad you brought up Hyper Light Drifter, Ava. So Hyper Light Drifter it was made in a studio called Glitch City. Glitch City, see, this is good. I like that people in the stream give me food. I could talk forever, but I need food. I need narrative food to bounce off of. So, Ava, it's 2014. The world's amazing. It's basically a party. People are like, what? But Trump president? How? When? It was a great time. I lived in a little place called Arizona where there's a lot of cactuses and Republicans. And it was like October, I drove out to Los Angeles to see a J-pop group named Perfume because I was a weeb. And I rented a car to come all the way out here to see them. Also, the music scene in Arizona was a little dry and I was kind of looking to get into some stuff in LA. So, when I came out to LA, a few bands that I liked and artists that I liked were performing a small kind of like punk rock atmosphere type show, you know, like dope shows that happen in really small, like divey places. And there is a local label called Zoom Lens, and there were some bands like Slime Girls was one of them. Another one was called White Bikini. Another one was called Clover and Sea Life at the time, I think. And then there was another one called Doesn't Matter Really. Point is, I went to this local LA show where people were playing cutesy electronic music like the stuff I made, and I was like, there's actually a scene for this out in LA. In Arizona, there was no artist like that. I come out to LA, there's actually a show happening, so I drive to it. Show's happening at a place called Glitch City. And Glitch City is actually a game dev studio, roughly the size of my apartment building, which I don't need to tell you is not big. It was a very small indie game development studio. And there was a show happening in there. And while the show was happening, you could like turn for like 4 degrees this way, and there was like somebody sitting at a desk like making games. Like people were like making video games. And Hyper Light Drifter was being made that night. Like the people that, like the developers from Hyper Light Drifter was being made while like all the bands were playing. And I ended up becoming pretty close with some of the people that were on the team for it. And still am today. Like still talk to them and like work with them and do stuff with them. So it's pretty cool. Great people, really great game. I had no idea. Good morning, Kit James. I had no idea that game, because you know, you're in an indie, like hundreds of games are made in that like tiny little studio, and so like I was like, I don't know if any of these games are ever gonna get big. But then like Hyper Light Drifter ended up winning all these awards, and people were asking me, they were like, yo, have you played this? And they were showing me the like screenshots and like gameplay, and I was like, oh, I like saw them making that. That's weird. That's super weird. Because that was like not what my focus was. I was like, oh, sick live music, and then I like chiptune music, and then I looked over and I was like, I guess these fools are still working. But anyways, good game. Love that game. Have to be in the mood to play it. It's very somber. I did love that game. I did play it all the way through and loved every minute of it. I haven't touched it since I finished it, but you know that's me. That's just how I be. But it was a very good game. Looking forward to Hurt Machine's next game, which does visually look very similar, except it's 3D now, so that's cool. It's called like Solar Ash or something like that. My apologies if I'm saying the wrong name. Anyways, and about Hollow Knight, kind of the same thing happened. The funny thing is, like, because there's such a big game dev scene in LA, a lot of the indie games that end up doing really well, like GDC, are made in a, here, usually in Culver City. But you didn't hear that from old Omni. Thank you though, Ava, for that. That gave me a little bit of an anecdote. Which remix was your favorite for 1/Million? I love Seekid Moloch's remix personally. I don't have favorites of anything, Aish, but I do have to say that the remix compilation was not curated by me. It was actually curated by my collaborator, Ehi Orobo. Ehi really wanted to do the remix compilation, and I personally was not against it, but I didn't care. I did not want to do it. I'm like, I have never in my career before that time or since commissioned people to remix my music. I feel like I'm always the remixer. And so I actually, that was not my decision. And anytime anybody brings up the 1/Million remixes, I feel like I need to give Ehi his credit and props for that, because he reached out to all the artists to have them remix it. He's the one that curated it. He's the one that packaged it with Genie. All I did, guys, all I did for that remix compilation is look at the names and go like, yeah, these are fine. I just like signed off on things. I signed off on things, and I paid money. I did like the bare minimum. I did basically what people have to do to be given a executive producer credit on a track. Like I didn't really do anything, but I listened to them all, and I do really like them. It's wild to hear somebody remix your songs, because it's like, it's just wild. I don't know. It's wild. The first time I think that happened was Andy the guy remixed my song Officer J, and I remember just being like, that's so weird that somebody would remix my music. Anywho, I'm glad that you like the Ski Kid Moloch's one. Ayush, he's pretty cool. He's pretty cool. He's pretty cool. That dude's funny. That dude's so not me. He's like the antithesis of me, and I think that's why I like him. I was a Kickstarter backer for Omocat's game as well, Omori. What? Never heard of it. Lindsay says, I feel like the only reason I never moved to LA is to have access to actual game dev community. Yeah, right? It's very, not only is the game dev community very vibrant and alive here, I would say, Lindsay, and this might be me talking from a place of privilege, which is like weird to say out loud, but I also feel like it's very chill. People are like very open and chill, but I think that there are some things that maybe I'm not mentioning, like the fact that I was already in their studio playing shows, and the fact that some of the people in the dev community were already like fans of like some of the earlier music that I made. So when I like walked into some spaces, people were like really cool. But I feel like it's still very open, and there's like a lot of like conventions here for like indie devs, and like people seem like really like down to just like maybe not like make a game, on a weekend with you because you're cool, but people are very like transparent and are like usually willing to like tell you like, oh, here's the thing that I mean, obviously if it like breaks NDA, they're not gonna like show you BTS of their game, but like they might be like, oh yeah, like I'm working on this, or like here's how I do this. Like knowledge gets traded and transferred so much. Like I have seen more about Unity as a music maker, a music producer, than I ever should have seen. It's just because everybody's so nice and is willing to like show people stuff. Kid James was asking how my weekend was. It was too fast and it was a little upsetting. I feel like a lot of my weekends are pretty upsetting now because I don't really have any place to be. The Line store in Hollywood reopened, so I went to the Line store, but there was like nothing really there I wanted, and I was in Hollywood, and I don't like being in Hollywood out a lot. I don't know. I like went through Beverly Hills, and like there's like a there's like pro Trump rally happening out there, but that makes sense because everybody in Beverly Hills is very very wealthy, and it's also a very white part of LA. So it wasn't that it was surprising or upsetting. It was just like a whatever weekend. I did get to eat Jollibee though, which I don't know if you guys are familiar with Jollibee. It's like a Filipino fast food chain, which I don't get to eat that often because I don't really go to Soho in LA almost ever. I don't go to Little Armenia ever either. Anyways, thank you for asking though, Kid James. I hope you also had a good weekend. How was your weekend? Was it good? Eating food is great. Ava says, I'd love to have game dev community. I really want to make my own game, but I have no interest in coding. Screw coding. Hire a coder. LA's full of them. We're just sick with coders. Ugh, they're everywhere. I also would like to apologize for my earlier joke. Ava said that they were a Kickstarter backer for the OmoCat game called Omori, and I said never heard of it, and then quickly moved on. I realized that this would only be funny to like my roommate or like my close friends because they understand my weird on again off again friend adversarial relationship with the OmoCat company and brand. Like I wear OmoCat shirts in the stream sometimes, um, but I do feel really I did not get that, Liana. I tried their chicken sandwich because I hadn't had their chicken sandwich. I know, pretty basic, right? But um, people said it was good. It was very good. I loved it. Um, I'm glad you got the joke, Ava. Yeah, I just, I'm not gonna get too deep into it, but like, yeah, people have been waiting on that game for a really long time. People have been waiting on that game for a really long time, and I know I get both sides. I know how it can be to be like the fan that's like, "Yo, you said, bro," because I've been the fan. I've been the fan, like waiting. I freaking this album. I've been wait. This is the Freeze Pop album, right? That I bought. I've been waiting for this album forever. I still haven't listened to it because I'm like, I'll get into that later. Why I haven't listened to it yet. But I've been like, I was waiting for a long time, and part of my brain was like, dang, like I really want this new album. I've been waiting like 6 years for it. But then another part of my brain, the artist part of my brain, is like, yeah, freaking stuff is hard a lot of the time. But I think that every branch, bends and breaks, and a lot of the people that are just like, yo, we've been waiting for this game for like 4 years. There have been games started and finished and released and have sequels planned in the time that we were waiting for this one game, and we all personally paid, a Kickstarter to get the game out. I like, I feel it. I totally get it. It's been a really long time, and like people are getting wild, and I feel like I'm close to some things, and I feel like anytime somebody brings up that game, I like try like not to say like anything, because like literally everybody making that game is like a friend of mine. Everybody like on that, everybody on the dev side of that game, the people making the music for the game, the people coding for the game, the people that did the art for the game, the people that promoted the game, the people that work for OmoCat, and it's like they're like weird, like I'm like around those people, not physically anymore, but you know what I mean. And so it's like I feel bad. I just want people to have their game. I just want people to have their game. Anyways, ooh. Oh, we can't have another Half-Life 3 on our hands. We can't have another Half-Life 3 on our hands. That's so weird. That's so weird. It wasn't bad. Mostly did deep cleaning and organizing, so it was productive for sure. Oh, that sounds nice, Kid James. Actually, I'm going to be doing some deep cleaning myself. I've been breaking little chunks off of my apartment and cleaning it and going through it, throwing some stuff away. Usually when it gets this close to the holidays, I end up tossing a lot of stuff, burning things, throwing things in the dumpster, selling things, and I'm like thinking about what that means for me this year, what I'm getting rid of, what I'm keeping. Ava says making games is hard. You have to be careful what you code it with, because if your base gets outdated, you gotta restart, bro. This is true, Ava. And especially if you've been in the development phase for that long, the risk of that happening runs ever higher, right? Ever higher every year. I'm trying to make sense of my small apartment space. I think about that a lot, Kit. Somebody, I was, where was I? You guys remember when I was talking about Ivy and Sarasu? And I was talking about when I played Ivy's wedding? Sorry, whoa, I got distracted by the music. Remember when I said I played Ivy's cousin's wedding? Um, there was a woman at this wedding. She really seemed to love talking. Um, Her husband not so much, but she kept following me and finding me and then talking more. Lovely woman. And her husband, very quiet, didn't seem to talk too much. But the point is, they lived in that. They were renting. They were renting, and she said, "Since I'm renting, I always want to change things in the house. I always want to add a room, or I always want to paint the walls, or I always want to take down this door, replace this light fixture, or add a chandelier." She's like, "I always want to do those things, but then part of me is like, this is not my place. This is not my home. I'm not going to be here forever. I'm eventually going to move. I don't want to do all this work improving this place that's basically not going to be my forever home." And I felt her with that, because that's a lot of why there's like janky things, like my window just doesn't open now. Unless I push it, like the crank is just broken off. Like, I don't know how to reattach this thing. The dude spent like, I'm not gonna improve this thing because I didn't think I was even gonna live here for as long as I've been here now. Been here almost 6 years. I didn't think it was gonna last this long. I thought I was gonna be in and out of here as soon as the lease was up. But she said something to me that's kind of started resonating recently, where she said, "You know what? You can't always think too far into the future. You can't like not do things that are good for you because you feel like they're not gonna last for a long time." She was like, "Just because you think that homie's flying." She was like, "Just because you think this relationship isn't gonna work and it's going to end soon doesn't mean you should like hug this person super hard and like have a good time and take them on the dates that you think they want to go on. And just because you're not going to be in this house forever doesn't mean that you should like deny yourself the cool things." And I think that at the time I was really annoyed, and I was at a wedding, which is not a good like time to try to talk to me anyway. And so I was like, kind of just like, "Yo, leave me alone, whatever. Like, fix your stupid house. Like, I don't want to change anything in my apartment." But I did start thinking about it recently, and I was just like, you know what? Like, I think I'm just gonna do the things and worry about the fallout later, which is weird because on the surface that sounds. On the surface that sounds really irresponsible, but I get it. I get it. Prioritizing your own happiness first and then worrying about the fallout later. You know, the reason I do these streams early in the morning is because it's usually really quiet. This is what the neighborhood usually just sounds like all day. So I do them in the morning to avoid this, but looks like they caught me. Looks like they caught on to me. I think he's done, though. I think he will be done soon. But yeah, yeah, I think she was right too, Lindsay. I think she was right. I think that within reason, you know, you should do the things that feel good. And so I said all that. That entire thing was supposed to be circling back around to Kit James. And Kit James was talking about, like, you know, taking apart the apartment, cleaning things, trying to make the space work better. And there are certain things like putting up posters or moving around my bed or like thinking about things that would make the space cooler or interesting or just make it fresh and new that I like never do because I'm just like, I don't want to do all that moving. I don't want to do all that moving around if I'm just gonna have to undo it one day. You know, trying not to think about like things like that anymore. And I think um, I am the king. I'm the king. Now I think I'm like the king of getting into something with the mindset that it's not going to last very long. So I put in, I don't know, little effort or little dedication, little commitment to that thing. I'm like, this is going to be one and done. Um, And then, like, I kind of do keep coming back to the thing. And then before I know it, I'm like 5 years deep, and I'm like, why is this so bad? And it's like, oh, because I didn't invest any time into it. For example, this is not, we all know this is not my 246th stream. It's just not true. This is like my 700th stream. I've been streaming for years and years and years. Sometimes several times a day. I'm well into the high hundreds of streams. But there's no evidence of it because I was treating it like it was, just like a fun side thing that I probably wasn't even gonna do for very long. This is just a thing I'm doing in the summer. This is just a thing I'm doing in the fall and winter. This is just a thing I'm doing in 2014. This is just a thing I'm doing in 2015, 16, 17. Eventually, you have to or you don't have to do anything, but eventually I felt like I had to, okay, like let me actually put some effort and time and commitment and dedication to this. Let's do it at a specific time. Let's make sure the angle's right. Let's not prop up the camera on my windowsill. Let's get a tripod. Let's get a flat surface. Let's blah blah blah. Guys get what I'm saying. I am the king of getting into something with zero dedication, expecting it to fall apart, and then when it doesn't fall apart, one day I'm just like, dang, I'm still here, and I haven't improved anything. I haven't improved a dang thing. And music is like that. I worked in FL Studio for a really long time before I started. Worked is a pretty strong word. I messed around in FL Studio for a pretty long time before I actually tried to take it seriously and actually produce music. I was just making noises. I owned a synthesizer for a pretty long time before I actually decided to start learning what subtractive synthesis really was all about. I owned this keyboard for a very long time before Cyber came up with the idea for me to actually play all the sounds on it. I had no idea, that there were this many sounds. It says there's 535 sounds. It says right there. It says there's 535 sounds. What the heck is that? I play 7 sounds on this keyboard. I tend to not, I don't read manuals. I don't go deep into things that I think are gonna last long. And honestly, lately, with my life, I just feel like nothing's gonna last very long. So I'm trying to mentally undo that. Anyway, season 3 and roughly 54 episodes. Ava says, I'm the opposite. I'm slowly replacing my furniture piece by piece so that someday when I can afford a house or at least a condo or something, I already have nice furniture. Oh, interesting. Every time I get a new piece, I end up having to rearrange. I don't buy furniture. Are TV's furniture? Liana says, I think by now you're a streamer, even though you don't really consider yourself to be one. Yeah, see, that's what I mean, Liana. I say that I'm not a streamer because, I don't feel like one. I don't think I'll ever feel like one. I think part of that is just because when I think of a streamer, I think of somebody that's that's their thing. Like Ninja or something. That's their thing. They're hopping on to stream. That's their main thing. I don't think of myself as a pianist, right? Because when I think about a pianist, I think about somebody who's really good at technical piano stuff. I'm more so just kind of bumbling my way around trying to figure out song stuff. But when people call me a pianist, I feel like it's inaccurate, right? Even when I was skating, when people called me a skater, I was like, nah, I'm not a skater. I can do a kickflip, right? And I hang out at the skate park, and I dress like a skater, and I own several skateboards. But you want to know a skater? That dude's a skater. He's sponsored by freaking, what was it, Treehouse or something, He's sponsored by Etnies. That's a skater. He hangs out at Zoomies every day that. I thought that was a skater. I wasn't one. There's so few things in life I feel like I am. But a music maker is the one. I don't feel like I'm a cook. I don't feel like I'm a gamer. I don't feel like I'm a writer, or I don't feel like I'm definitely not a skater anymore. Everything is just supposed to be a small, little dedication side hobby, while music is the whole thing. And so, yeah, I don't know. That's definitely a mental thing. You're right, Liana. I as far as technicalities, I am a streamer. It didn't even sound good coming out of my mouth. I don't want to. I'll never say that again, but you're right. I'll say that much. You are right, Liana. I am wrong in this. You're right. Yeah, it's ever changing. Plenty of attributes, right? There's only so much we can do. I'm trying to make streaming one of my things. It's hard to make time for it, though. Talk about it, Ava. Talk about it. The only reason this works, guys, is because it's so early in the day that nothing else typically is happening. And on the off chance that something else is happening, it always beats the stream, right? Like I have to pick up somebody from the airport, no stream today. I have a doctor's appointment, no stream today. I'm gonna be on the road, no stream today. Like, yeah, the only reason that I can make time for this is because it's early, and I realize it's early. I realize most people don't want to watch a stream at 9 a.m. Most people want to like go hang out with their friends, do their things, and then like relax in the evening and watch, Ninja box them up. Is that what Ninja does? I agree in theory, but actually applying it to myself doesn't work as well, says Lindsay. Yeah, I agree with Liana. Liana is making very valid points. As is Ava. I just, I don't. I think I've explained. I think I've thoroughly explained what my thing is, which is I don't identify as anything. Everything is passing, and I'm just waiting for everything to end. Everything I'm always waiting for to end. Actually, a good analogy for that is quarantine, right? Everybody was treating quarantine like, it'll be over in a few months. Let's just take a break. I'm going to push my tour from March all the way back to June, and I'll be back out there. And then it became very evident that this was not like a, quick, like, wham, bam, let's get back to business scenario. And then people had to start actually investing in quarantine things like, oh, I need to play a URL show, or I need to play a drive-in concert, or I got to start Twitch streaming. Or, people started then making like, okay, this is going to last a long time, let me invest. Instead of just chill and wait for the storm to pass. I think it's a pretty good analogy for how I look at most things. I think it's the implication that your personality is based off of your hobbies. Like, yeah, I'm a gamer and a weeb and an artist and a streamer, but like, I'm not shy or any social, etc. Oh, like over-identifying as something and then becoming a stereotype based on a collection of your interests. I think that sometimes it'll make you fall. Ooh. Ava brings up a way better defense than mine. It does make you fall into a certain category, right? If somebody walks into a conversation, they say, I am a gamer. If there are certain things that you can assume, maybe you shouldn't, but there are certain things that a lot of people will assume about this person. One thing being that they play games, They own a console, I don't know. And that might not necessarily be true. So, yeah, if I say I'm a streamer, I feel like maybe people are going to say, oh, do you do this? Do you have this? What about this? These. Are you doing this? And I'm like, no, I'm not doing any of that. And they're like, oh, you're a whack streamer then. A trash streamer. I'm like, dang. I'd rather be not a streamer than a trash streamer. Alright, we was mostly a joke, says Ava, though. I just like animation so much. But liking animation is so tightly correlated to being a weeb that I give up and lean in. Liking animation is closely related with being a weeb, especially the younger you are, right? But I just like trying to identify as anything. Even like identifying as a hip-hop head gets like really like hostile sometimes, so. The only thing I feel like I can identify as is a music producer, because if somebody's like, oh yeah, prove it. And I'm like, oh, here's like a list of like 210 songs I've produced. Here's a list of bands I was in. Here's a list of shows I've played. Here's a list of like commissioned work I've done. Here's my DAW. Here's my other DAW. Here's my keyboards. Here's like the theme of my stream. Look at my Twitter content. Look at my Instagram content. I'm a music producer, baby, and nobody can tell me I'm not. But if I say I'm anything else, I feel like I don't have as much ground cover to where like somebody's gonna come and be like, you're not a real gamer though, right? You played Super Hot once. I also got Need for Speed because it was free this month. So maybe I'll play that today. I don't know. Genshin Impact. Gotta spin my resin, baby. I was just about to ask for some production stream songs to be played, says Imbe. Production stream songs to be played. Why? Which ones? I can't play them. I can play chords from some of them. Okay, that's what is that, Dropout? No, it's not. always has connotations whether they're good or not. Very true, Sokana. Very, very well put. Absolutely. Identify as anything. Just don't identify as things. I refuse to identify as things. Um, the only thing I feel confident in being able to identify with, other than being a music producer, I just feel like I've really earned my creds, my credits to identify as a music producer, whatever that means socially. I feel like I can identify as black. I feel like I can show somebody a photo of my mother and father and go like, see, both of them, and then go like, I am, and then they made a me. I think that it's a very short list though. Black, musician, uh, dude, I guess. I feel pretty confident that that's what's going on. That that's what's going on inside me. General dude stuff. Um, yeah, I think that's it. I think that's honestly kind of it. I think anything else is probably up for up for debate. When you identify as something, they want you to know everything since you're one or else you're not real. Yeah. This is true, right? It's like saying you like gorillas, but somebody's like, man, you only got into gorillas because of Feel Good Inc. And people are like, what's wrong with that? That song was good. And it's like, man, that's trash. That's like getting into Coldplay from Viva La Vida. And it's like, that's also what I did. I didn't do either one of those things, by the way. Just want to be clear. I'm a dude, he's a dude, says Liana. Good Burger reference. Oh, there's something I want to say about Good Burger, but I'm not gonna say it. They made a sequel, right? Did I dream that? Or was there just like a Good Burger pop-up somewhere? LA has messed me up. All this whole nostalgia stuff has really messed me up. I feel like everything has a sequel now. But you're right, Sokana. You're right about the whole identifying thing. Um, yeah, so I just don't identify as anything. I've become very, very diplomatic in my existence. My existence. I saw the wildest thing. Every single time I'm like, oh, I love that. I do love that song. Wait, Umba, you didn't answer my question. Was there a specific song that you were trying to hear from Friday's stream? When I was younger, I identified as like white French Italian. Ooh. Marvelous. But nowadays I just identify as white. So the internet is cringe to emphasize like that. I am garden variety white. No, I feel like French Italian's pretty sick. I say go for it. I mean, I understand the internet is a bad place. We're on it, right? We're here. I wouldn't be talking to you guys without it. Internet's cool, I guess. It's like peanut butter, right? You're not wrong, Ava. You're not wrong. I think that you're right, but I feel like it's something that's really funny to me. And I'm not going to elaborate, but I will say something that's really funny is there is a very specific type of internet etiquette where sometimes sometimes you do have to word things a very specific way for the internet, not because there's anything wrong with saying you're white French Italian, but I can see somebody if you were just I am French, they would just be like, man, that's just white, that's just other white. And you're like, oh, and mixed with Italian, and it's like white mixed white, baby. I feel that. I feel almost that exists in a weirder way in the black community where it obviously I don't know that I have any friends that are actually the same race as me. If we're really talking about ethnicity, I don't think that I do. And I'm talking about all my black friends, like me, Breon, Ricky. You don't know any of these people, doesn't matter. But all my black friends, it's we're from wild other places. Homies Dominican. This fool's from Lagos. Olu's from Lagos. Anyways, point is, but you kind of get all lumped in as black, and so if I got on Twitter, and we all started talking about really specifics, it's just nah, I'm not with them. We're not the same, bro. It's it's not something I can say on the internet. It's not something I can say on the internet unless there is like a hot take behind it. Still, it's like we're all black. These ones are all white. These ones are all black. These ones are all Hispanic. These ones. These ones are Latino. It's not the same thing as Hispanic. It's like, well, definitely a really cool Venn diagram. If you ever want to see the Hispanic Latino Venn diagram, I encourage you to do so. It's very educational, very cool. Also, D Sharp says, good point. Lineage is not the same as race. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a response I would get for talking about being Italian. Yeah, yeah. I just think it's funny when someone says I'm spicy white. Spicy white's funny. I use the term dark skin white a lot. If that is offensive, I do apologize to anybody in the stream. It wasn't meant to be offensive. It is just dark skin white. Like when I see, to me, I mean, I don't need to elaborate. You know what I'm talking about. I've said it before. There's just a certain type of way you have to talk on the internet. I got on the internet yesterday. Ooh, I logged on. I accidentally liked the tweet. I was like on Twitter for like I hadn't been on Twitter in a while, and I was just like, oh, what's happening? I wonder if people are talking about cool stuff. And I like was scrolling, and you know if like sometimes you're scrolling but your thumb sticks maybe too long, and I liked the tweet, and I almost had a heart attack. I was like, I unliked it, and I was like, it's too late. The world knows. I've already put up the bat signal. They're about to get me out of here. It wasn't even a wild tweet. I just feel like I'm not supposed to be on Twitter right now, and I did go on there and like see what was popping, and exactly what I thought was popping, and I was like, ugh, I have to get out of here. Like it was, I would love to come back to Twitter, but like Jesus Christ, what an awful time. What an awful time. What an awful time. Okay, I bet someone was on Twitter like Omni's live. Yeah, Umbe, and it pisses me off. Just the thought that somebody saw like, yo, Omni liked this tweet, Unki liked this tweet, like makes me so upset. Isn't that weird? The things that make me upset in the year 2020. It's an awful year. I'm upset that somebody might have seen that I accidentally liked a tweet when I was not supposed to be on the site. Twitter is so talking. It's actually such a bad time. I think. I mean, I'm gonna feel like a hypocrite, right? Because somebody will be able to come back to like 246 and be like, "Yo, remember when Omni was like smashing Twitter?" And like in 2021, I'm probably gonna upload a video to Twitter. Like, I just wanted to take a break for like 6 months or something like that. I'll probably upload a video to Twitter, maybe. I mean, that's what I keep saying to myself. Twitter's the funniest place on the internet for me. You just gotta weed through the horrible stuff. Twitter is funny. I'm not saying that it's all bad. Hey, what's up, Cyber? We missed you, buddy. I'm not saying that it's all bad. Let me back up. I feel like I have misrepresented my cause. If a cause was there. Whatever happened to cause? Remember cause in the stream? Anyways, I think there's a lot of funny on Twitter. I'm not gonna lie and say that I've never been on Twitter and laughed, even this year. But I will say, what Twitter feels like to me personally. This is not what it's gonna feel like to everybody. I've had a lot of people that are like, "Yo, you need to clean up your feed, bro." Like all I follow is like waifus, baby, waifus every day. People just posting like I don't know, like little lolly like anime characters. That's what I'm about. I never see politics. I never see anybody getting canceled. Can't cancel a lolly. I think you can. Oh, no, you can't. You can't. I went back off of that. That's not a hill I'm ready to die on. I don't even want to exist on that hill. I'm staying away from that hill. But the point is, like, I feel like when I get on Twitter now, what Twitter feels like is it feels like it feels like a lot of people like going like this in like a really tiny room. It feels like 500 people packed in a room going like this, and they're like all really hungry, and there's no food. And I feel like remember that really cool video where they throw like a whole pizza, it's like a Little Caesars pizza in like the water, and all the eels like go like bonkers at it. That's what Twitter feels like to me right now. Twitter feels like a bunch of like scary eels eating pizza, and you're thinking to yourself like, dang, like I didn't even know they could do that. That's what Twitter feels like to me. It was it's things happen so fast. I've never seen things happen this fast. You know when like remember when like a movie or an anime or a video game would get announced at E3, and then you would go on Twitter and there was already like fan art, and you're like, it's been 15 minutes. How are you guys doing that? Like somebody would have like a really in depth like cosplay of the character and they're like pose in their room and they're like for the rest of my photo set's coming up soon. And you're like, photo set? How did you make this costume? We just saw that, like the video just came out, the trailer just came out. How are people this fast? People are really fast, and when it's good, it's dope. Like when it's good, it's dope. When it's like comedy, when you just saw like a fly on Mike Pence's head on a debate, and then you go on Twitter and people have already like photoshopped or done weird fan art of like a big fly. People have like Jeff Goldblum in the fly costume, like on freaking Mike Pence's head. It's like, yo, you guys are fast. This is sick. This is comedy. Sometimes people are fast when it's bad. Sometimes sometimes it's too easy. It's too easy, and like that scares me. I'm scared. So I'm chilling. But yeah, there is a lot of funny stuff still on Twitter. I saw, what did I see that was funny the other day? I saw somebody like eating British food. British food is always really funny and disgusting looking to me. So somebody was like eating British food, and I thought that was pretty funny. I have a cosplay friend like that, always trying to be the first on the hype. Yeah, remember Bowsette? Remember when like Bowsette became a thing, and then like 2 seconds later, like everybody had fan art. There was like all this lewd Bowsette stuff, and I don't know. I guess I was like taking a shower when Bowsette happened, so I got out and I went on Twitter, and Twitter was already breaking because there's so much Bowsette stuff. I was like, are you kidding? Like, how is this happening so fast? I've been waiting for. I commissioned an artist. I commissioned an artist to make like album art for me like 3 months ago. I'm still waiting for the invoices fulfilled. I'm still waiting on the art back. But Bowsette comes out, and all of a sudden, like my entire timeline is just boobs and horns. But I understand. Horny art's easier to focus on than like a business art. Oh, is that your example, Lindsay? Wait. Oh, when Bowsette was unleashed to the world, fan art came out instantly. Yeah. I mean, yeah. No. Yes. Sorry, I didn't actually read it. Yeah, but that's a really good example. It scares me how fast it is, says Sokana. It's very fast. It is very fast. Without getting, Twitter's where people go to share stuff in their Tumblr, Instagram, so that's part of it. For sure, Ava. I will say, without getting into details, I will say that Twitter is very, very fast when it's funny, when it's comedy. Twitter is very fast when it's information. Like somebody will get shot in LA. Twitter will already have like multiple accounts of the story, several different like views, like perspectives, like shot on iPhones, like of what was doing, what was happening. They got the dude's Facebook up here. They're like, this is his badge number. This is the officer's name. This is where he's at. Here's the victim. Here's the victim's family. Here's where they go to school. Here's what's going on with them. Here's where you can donate money. And this is like within like 30 minutes. Like people are like so fast about everything. News is fast. Comedy is fast. But also like really bad things happen fast too. And so sometimes sometimes it makes me uncomfortable. I have officially stopped getting DMs though, which is like, I would say I'm happy about. It is kind of sad because you feel like you're dead, but I still get like, I would say like one DM every 3 days, which is like pretty good for me. Like usually it's just a constant influx of like nonsense, flattery, nonsense, requests, nonsense. And so it's officially, I think people are like, I think he died. And so like now people don't DM me anymore. I don't get like a bunch of Twitter DMs. There was a weird spike of DMs, but that was because, somebody was getting in trouble. But anywho, yeah, I haven't gone back yet. I think 2021 will be my return. That'll be my return. I'm gonna like shave my head. I'm gonna shave my head and wear circle rimmed glasses and turtlenecks and What else? What is the rest of this persona? I'm wearing circle rim glasses that are not prescription. I'm wearing turtlenecks, and I post a lot of photos of myself all of a sudden, but I'm never talking in my videos anymore. I'm never talking in my videos. I started smoking, but not like not regular stuff. I like roll them myself. I get like Bugle, the like Bugle Boy or whatever, Bugle Boy like tobacco, and then I roll my own ciggies, or I smoke like American Spirits or something, and I wear pointy shoes, not too pointy, but definitely pointier than pointy enough that there's like weird space that my toes can't reach in the shoe. Who is this person? I'm describing a very specific person. Nobody's gonna know who this person is. Nobody's gonna know who this person is. They were a friend of mine, and like in a weekend, they got dumped, and they got dumped, and then they started wearing turtlenecks. They shaved off all their hair and started wearing like the circle glasses, and I started drawing a lot, but like they weren't, an art. I can't say that somebody's not an artist, but they just started drawing like doodling, like a lot of like weird, like really harsh scribble stuff, and like selling prints of it. They sold their car. They got a Vespa. They started rolling their own ciggies. Oh. Oh. Where are they? I think they probably still live in Hollywood, actually. I hope so. I hope they're okay. I used to like going over to their house because they had a hairless cat. And as much as I do not like cats, I have a strong distaste for cats and their ilk. But the hairless ones, pretty sick. Do you like the hairless ones? Sounds like they were going through it. I've never gone through it. When I go through it hard, I never mess with my hair. That's like when people go through it and they like change up their hair. I'm like, wow, the gall. I could never do that. I know that eventually male pattern baldness is going to get to me. It's going to find me, and the idea of like cutting my hair off, like the idea of like doing it on purpose. I'll never be that sad. You take everything away from me, at least I'll have like 2 twists up here. The rest of it will be gone, but I'll have like a couple of twists up. Anyways, I could make such a crude joke about cats, but I'm stopping myself. I appreciate it, Cyber. I don't like them. I do not like them. Smoking is so addictive. Everyone I know who started for a stressful thing in their life never stopped. Oh no, I would never actually start smoking. Yeah, I was making a joke, Abe. I'm sorry. I don't want to. I'm not joking. I don't want to like disparage anybody who actually is like struggling with tobacco or anything. I mean, I just, you know me. You know me. I'm a little baby lizard. I just don't do anything. I drink ginger beer though. It's pretty cool, right? Started drinking ginger beer again. I'm back on the ginger. Can I get a birthday song? Sound 246. Leona, you can get whatever you want. Except that. I don't think that I have a sound 246. It's a muted steel guitar. So prepare yourself for a sound that's not going to sound good. Oh, you don't want to hear that. What is... Hero, they all have snaps? Why does that one not have the snap to it? How many does that one? Oh. I wish I had 4 hands. Anyways, I'll do it. sounds weird. I think I would forget how to play the birthday song if you guys didn't have birthdays all the time. I feel like there's not even that many people in the stream family, but like, I feel like there's a birthday at least every 2-3 weeks, right? So it keeps me fresh. It keeps me fresh. Cats are dope, says Umbe, until you accidentally step on their tail at 3 a.m. and they were laying on the hallway, so they hate you forever. Yeah, that sounds pretty rough. Sounds pretty rough. I'm sorry, Umbe. I love cats too, Ava, says Lindsay. Every time Ani goes on about how he hates cats, I just have to pretend I don't hear it. No, I mean, it's fine. It's fine. People can not like them, you know? It's super cool. It's super cool and super great. Yeah, you know, it's a personality thing. It's a personality thing. Those things are my enemy. Those things are my enemy. Except for the wild ones. Wildcats are sick. Wildcats are pretty sick. There was a whole thing out here because a mountain lion came down into Pasadena neighborhood and was like living in a tree, and everybody was freaking out and posting videos of it, and they called animal control, and it was a whole thing. And I was like, yo, let him chill. This is his home. I do love wildcats. But yeah, the tiny ones, the little guys, nah, I'm chilling them. What did a cat do to you besides giving you allergic reactions? I think cats. What did they do to me? I think cats don't feel like. Ooh, I don't like where this conversation is going. I don't like where my own statement is going. I'll just say, cats are frustrating to me, and whenever somebody talks to me about their cat, what it sounds like is somebody's being held hostage by a really high maintenance, kind of abusive like monster, but they love it. And they're like, oh, isn't it cute how like my cat knocks everything off the shelf? Look, it's laying on my keyboard while I'm trying to work. Look at it breaking my stuff and scratching my skin. Like, I just feel, that's what I feel, like, and hairs everywhere. I mean, I'm just saying if a cat were a roommate, I would kick them out. If my roommate was like leaving hair everywhere and they were just scratching me sometimes and they were breaking my stuff and I had to like roommate proof my house, I'd be like, all right, something needs to be done. But, and that's also true for some dogs. I will say that. Some dogs are also like that. So it's not even that I hate all cats and love all dogs. I think it's just like there's a specific type of animal. And I do think that there probably out there is a cat that acts enough like whatever I like. That could be cool. While we're on the subject of animals, you know what else I really don't like? Ferrets. And I want to like them so bad. I want to like them. They're so cool. I love them in the wild. Where are ferrets in the wild? I like the idea of them in the wild, but whenever interacting with a ferret in a home and people being like, oh, you don't want to leave your keys there, the ferret will get them. And then he'll hide them somewhere, like in a wall or something. They're like, don't leave little holes. Ferrets love holes. Like, don't leave your cables out. Like, ferrets love that. And I'm just like, yo, at this point, you just have to love the ferret so much that you're willing to, like, change everything within reason to, like, accommodate the ferret. And I just don't know, yeah, I don't know. But then Lindsay says, a hairless cat who isn't a jerk ever is the ideal cat for you. Yeah, and I don't know that cat exists. I don't know that exists. Also, Lindsay, while we're on the subject of hairless cats, my hairless friend and their hairless cat. Hairless cats are extremely high maintenance. I don't know if that's just the specific Sphinx cat brand or whatever, but they're super high maintenance. They have all kinds of skin conditions and they can't be like in the sun too much and they need these special like things and creams and you gotta take like hairless cat in theory. Hairless cat in practice, I don't even want that. I liked going to someone's house who had one that they took pretty good care of, but there also was a point where I was just like, they're like, yeah, I had to go to the vet. I just spent X amount of dollars on my cat, you know, like $800, but we love him. And I'm like, oh crap. That's a lot. That's a lot of US dollars. I don't know that I love anything $800. And that's a problem with me. That's a problem with me, and maybe that's some growing that I could do. But whenever, like, I have another friend who shall remain nameless who has birds, I've driven them to the vet for their like bird appointments. It's pigeons, and oh my god, they love those pigeons. They're like in tears. They're like, my pigeon is sick. My pigeon, my pigeons. They have like three, I think, two or three, and every single time I'm just like, as somebody, as somebody, again, these are informed by me. I've had several dogs, right? My family has had several dogs, and all of them are dead. They are all deceased, and I was not. I loved those dogs, and for whatever reason, that I don't know. Where they have pigeons as a pet, yeah, yeah, it's all the rage. Pigeons as pets. Pigeons as pets. I am not roasting my friend here. They are great, but I'm obviously not a big pigeon fan. I think I loved these dogs, and when the dogs passed, I was like very okay. And sometimes I see people. This is getting dark. Sometimes I see people that are like, like oh, with their pet, and I'm just like, man, you're probably gonna survive that pet, and when you do, I like do not want to be around. I'm gonna feel so bad because I know that most people don't take pet death the way I take pet death. And so, how do we get here? Yeah, I don't know. I have a weird relationship with pets where it's like I love them, but there's always kind of this weird line, I don't know, that I have where they are an animal. Have you ever seen the Pigeon Man episode of the Hey Arnold? Says Liana. Pigeons are pretty. I will say, I had a roommate. Two. I had a roommate 3 roommates ago who did get a pigeon. I told him not to get a pigeon. I said no pets in the house. When he moved in, I was like, here are the rules of the house. Hey, you eat, you wash your dishes. You don't just stack them in the sink. I'm not your mom. Also, a grown man. I'm a grown man. Clean up after yourself. I'll clean up after me-self. No one has to clean up after the other person. Wash your dishes. No pets. You can't move another person in on top of me. Those are like very simple rules. Clean up after yourself. You can't move in a third person. And no animals. The animal would be the third person. You can't move in another person. I'm living with you. I'm not living with you and the cat. I'm not living with you and the dog. Some things are cool. It's like you got a lizard, you got a turtle. That's cool, right? It's got a little incubation chamber that it stays in or whatever. But I said it, and he broke every single one. Never washed dishes. Filthy everywhere. Moved his girlfriend in here. Got a pigeon. I was like, I feel like you're trying to kill me. You're trying to get kicked out of the apartment. Anyways, I wish him well. He now lives, I don't know, actually, somewhere else, not here. Anyways, terrarium. Thank you, Cyber. Not incubation chamber. They live in a terrarium. Why a pigeon, though, says Sokana. He wanted a pigeon. I don't know. He saw a YouTube video about a pigeon. In one of my less great moments, we've all had some pretty whack moments. We all have. One of my issues with Twitter is that everybody's whack moments are like played like a highlight reel, like a Kotaku highlight reel of like their worst moments. They're like, get him out of here. I think that one of my less than great moments was my past roommate. They were letting their pigeon go because there's like this thing. Why am I laughing? Sorry. Nah, that's funny to me. There's like this thing where like if you have a pigeon, at a certain point you kind of like you let the pigeon go and like do their thing, and they'll come back. It's like pigeons have a really great mental map, so they like know where home is. They like know where their nest is, what they view as home, and so they will go out, do their thing, come back to you. They will go out, do their thing, and that's just kind of the way it is. A lot of people don't like doing this because they get worried about something happening to their pigeon, like getting hit by a car or something like that. But it's supposed to be a good thing to do for your pigeons. Anyways, homie like did the thing. Sky was here. Sky was here too. Sky was like out on the stairs with them, and they were like, and homie was like, oh, I'm gonna send the pigeon out. Like this is like good for them. Like because it was like a rescue pigeon. It was like healing, whatever. they're sending out the pigeon. I remember I was playing video games and I like looked at the pigeon fly by the window and I was just like, word, that pigeon's not coming back. And I remember them coming back upstairs and them being like, well, should be like a few hours and they should be back. So all I have to do now is, just like sit back, relax, and hope for the best. And I was just like, yeah, word, 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 word. That pigeon never came back. That pigeon, I don't know, found a freaking biddy somewhere in like Upper Highland Park, laid mad eggs or something. I don't know. Anyways, that's the best case scenario. But the point is, the pigeon never came back. So, um, I was fine. I was a-okay. It was against the rules to get the pigeon. The pigeon's being set free. It wasn't like we were cooking and eating the pigeon. The pigeon was doing what pigeon do: fly around, poop on car, mate with other pidgeys, Um, but I have no ill will towards that roommate. There are certain times, not very often, but there are some times where every single roommate I've had, even the nightmare ones, even the ones where like cops were called, or there are some times where I'm like, I kind of miss so and so. I miss them all. They've all had things, and I don't miss the pigeon. I do not miss them moving in their girlfriend in the apartment. I do not miss piles of dirty dishes or the dubstep. Or the dirty socks. I do. I can't remember what I did miss. But I do miss. I missed something that they did. I'm sure they did something. I missed it or something like that. They needed to be talked to all the time, which I thought was kind of funny. That was kind of cool. Right? I don't talk to my roommates very often. I like walk around the house in silence. And then like when I'm addressed, if somebody says good morning, I go like, oh, good morning. But I kind of just like walk around like with my stuff and like with my laptop and I'm just working on things. I like don't really like say anything unless I'm spoken to. But they were always just like, oh, you haven't done anything. How's your day going? What's going on? What you working on? And it was really annoying, but it was cool. It was fine. It was cool. I didn't make me angry or anything. Anywho, Umbe says, Omni, you ever make dubstep? Not good dubstep. I have dabbled in it just out of like curiosity because I was bored and I accidentally made like a dubsteppy sound. And I was like, oh, this will be fun. Let's see this through. And then I made like 4 quote unquote dubstep tracks, but I'm not proud of them. They were not very good, and there is no place that you can hear them. But I have technically made dubstep. So kinda. Okay. We can't make it a 2.5 hour stream. We could, but we shan't. Really quickly, guys. Well, not very quickly. I do need to go over a little bit of news. Cyber missed this news because Cyber was very busy. Thank you, Cyber, for still coming into the stream. I do appreciate you. It was brought to my attention recently that a Gear server, a Gear Talk server, people wanted a Gear Talk server in the Discord, so I'm gonna make a Gear Talk server. I don't know how necessary it is, but I guess I can always delete it later if its necessity becomes obsolete. But yeah, I'll make a Gear Talk thing. I just want to talk about like keyboards and like specific like music stuff because I mean the general chat. I mean I say anything in there and I realize that sometimes there's already conversations going on and I like take a big wrecking ball to them and I just go, guys, I'm eating pretzels today, and like nobody really wants to hear that. So I'll make a Gear Talk server for the people that would benefit from that. I have a question not related to pigeons or roommates. Go for it, Lindsay. Still going over a little bit of news, but go ahead and ask away. Oh, you're already doing it. Did you ever fix your wild sleep schedule? I was up until 1 a.m. last night, which is still a little bit later than I like to be awake. I like to go to bed like around 10:30. 10:30 is such a sick time to... Oh my god. Oof. Yo, when I'm in bed and I look at my phone, it says 10:30. Anyways, I was trying to be in bed by 10:30. Ended up going to bed at 1. The reason I ended up going to bed at 1 is because I was up looking at the news like some freaking 60-year-old curmudgeon, and it wasn't good. The news wasn't good, and then one of my friends was having like a fit, so I was trying to be um, Mr. Mr. Helper. So I was up until 1 a.m. talking to that person. So it was pretty wild. Um, oh. So yeah, I was up pretty late. Have I fixed my sleep schedule though? Not really. Yesterday I went on a really long drive because I did something really stupid. So I get stress nosebleeds. Does anybody get stress nosebleeds? I don't want to talk about this too much because I don't want to talk about what caused the nosebleed, but I'll just say when I get really stressed, I get like not even like dribbling, like a little drop of nose. Like it's just like it's like crying almost. It's like my nose is crying blood. Anyways, I'm the same way. Says Cyber. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so I get stress nosebleeds. I shouldn't say a lot. I just get them when I'm stressed, and in times where I've been stressed a lot, I get a lot of nosebleeds. And so I was filling up. I was getting gas, um, and I got a stress nosebleed. And I thought that my nose was just running at first, but then somebody looked at me and freaked out because I was wearing a face mask that was white, and it was covering my nose as is recommended, and yeah, I got a lot of blood on it, and so I freaked out a little bit too because I was trying to assure the person that I was okay, but also hide the blood from them, but also not remove my mask. And it was very awkward and weird. And they were staying really far away from me. Maybe they thought I was having like some type of like COVID conniption or something, but they were like really afraid. And I was like, it's fine, it's fine. And I filled up my car, and I realized that I filled up my car with pretty low octane fuel. For those of you guys that do drive older German cars, older Volkswagens, older BMWs, you can't do well. You can do that, but it's not good for the car. You should be filling like 91, grade gasoline. So I put in like 87 grade gasoline, and now my car's making a weird sound. So that's a thing I need to figure out. So yesterday I was driving so that I could like drive out all of the bad gas so that I could fill it up with better gas. But because the car gets good mileage, which is usually a great thing, and then I had to drive a lot. So I ended up driving like all the way to the valley. I drove to Hollywood, went to the Line Store. I drove to West LA, drove to the mountainside, drove to Beverly Hills, which is where I got caught in the like pro Trump rally thing. I was just driving everywhere, and so it was quite a weekend of a lot of driving around. And the news is I've got my like outer experience for a minute. I think I'm gonna stay home this week. I really hope I don't turn into like a curmudgeon, not curmudgeon, like a hobbit hermit person because of quarantine, but I really wish there was something I could do about stress nosebleeds. I also went and got blood drawn recently, and the lady was like, bless her heart, she was great, actually. I really did like her because she was very, very nice. And not like the type of nice where it's like all doctors and nurses are nice because it's an awkward situation, they're trying to put you at ease. She seemed like a really, really, like, truly nice person. And we were both from Arizona, and we, like, connected on how whack Arizona was. And she was like, wow, your arms are very vascular. This should be super easy. And I was like, yeah, that's what they tell me. They say, Veni Omni, this should be really easy. But she poked me like 4 times and was like moving the thing while it was in me, and I was like, when somebody's like really messing up and they're causing you a lot of physical pain, but they're so sweet that you don't want to react, so you're just like, oh, it's fine, it's great, and you're like looking at blood run down your arm, and they're like trying to wipe it with like alcohol, like wiping. You're just like, oh yes, yes, my life juice. Who needs it? It was horrible. It was so bad. And then I got a flu shot. So since she stabbed me like 6 times with needles. I got a flu shot then. And like I left there, and that was like the same day that I got the nosebleed. And so I was so low on blood, like just generally this weekend, that I don't really remember a lot of it. It's like kind of a blur. I remember boba. I remember the Line store. I remember some girl in front of me in line to get in the Line store asking about like what K-pop group I liked, and I was just like, I'm here for Line merch, and she was like, no, she was like, who's your bias? And I'm like, I don't even. It's not me, bro. Like I'm not even like. It's not even like that. I'm here for the Line merch. But I understand that there's like this big connection between BTS and Line, and there's the whole BT21 thing that a lot of people just think the Line store is like a K-pop thing, and I'm like, it's a messaging app. And she's like, I don't use the messaging app. And I'm like, why are you here? But I didn't say that. I was very dizzy. It was Hollywood also. Guys, for those of you that have been in Hollywood and you've like hung out on Hollywood Boulevard, it's trash. Just imagine Times Square, but not dope. Imagine Times Square, but take away at least all the cool like video ads you can look at. It's just awful. It's just awful. Somebody tried to sell me 3D glasses to watch an Instagram video. They have a YouTube page where they only do 3D videos, and she was trying to sell me 3D glasses that were like $5 so that I could watch a YouTube video on my phone. And I was just like, yo, what the, like, I know I haven't been to Hollywood in a while. I know that the hustles keep changing, but like, come, leave me alone. Just leave me alone. I'm bleeding. I'm like bleeding everywhere. I got like Band-Aids. They have like, you know, the like the awkward thing where it's like a Band-Aid, but they put like a cotton ball under the Band-Aid because, well, I guess to, yeah, no, it makes sense to like stop the blood. But like, it just looks awful. It makes you look way worse. Like I was walking around with a mask with like blood on it and like Band-Aids with like cotton swabs. I just looked like somebody you'd want to be maybe a little bit more than 6 feet away from. So it was a time. It was a time. Anyways, I'm okay. I have a flu shot, so. Hollywood felt like going to a discount Disneyland and wishing you were at Disneyland the whole time. Yeah, it has that feel. I think everybody should walk down Hollywood Boulevard at least once. Maybe with people, not alone. You know, depending on the time of day. Be safe, be safe. But I think everybody should experience that at some point. What did this have to do with sleeping schedule, or was that just relating to your weekend in general? Yeah, it was just relating to my weekend. So I wasn't able to fix my sleep schedule this weekend, and I was up pretty late. Because I've been driving around, and I got home, and I was trying to catch up on the news. Yeah, it's like, it's whack. It's whack. But the sleep schedule, I feel like I've gotten a hold of it. I've started working out again, guys, which I know a lot of you don't really care about. Hold on. I'm going to say hi to Red. Hello, Red. I didn't see you come in. I hope you had a good weekend, and I hope you're having an even better Monday. I did start working out and meditating again. When I get really stressed out, it's really hard to work out. My muscles feel like freaking mashed potatoes, and so I did start working out again the other day. So I have like that good soreness. Like I'm sore, but it feels good, so that's nice. Gonna try to like get back to business to defeat the Huns. Lindsay says, I'm glad you got a flu shot, despite looking like a public health danger. Yeah. Routines are good. I'm back in my routine. I got new straps coming in for my rollerblades. Excited to get back into working out. Oombe, you're so cool. I know that sounded not genuine, but that's like a thing I'll never be able to say. Still not journaling. Still not journaling. I'm going to go ahead and write. This year is a write-off, guys. For those of you guys that aren't familiar about the whole journaling thing, really quick catch-up, I do write every day in a composition book. Everything I do, the things I want, the things I feel, the things I don't want, the things I'm afraid of. And it's kind of just like a personal log, diary, whatever you want to call it. Since 2020 started, I haven't really been writing in it, which is wild because this year has been very eventful. But I think that a big part of me writing in my journal had to do with me moving around and experiencing things. A lot of, it's a write-off. Ooh. Thanks, Cyber. I didn't even catch that. I'm pretty good sometimes. But I think the way I talked about this with music the other day. Music. Oh, this is tying in perfectly. I talked about this with music the other day. Music's lifespan, its relevance, for me, relies on its connection to things. Its connection to things. Not just its connections to people, but its connection to people through things. I was in the store, I heard this song. I was on my first date, we heard this song. This is our song. It played on our first date. This is the song that I listened to get through this breakup. This is the song that I listened to on this road trip. This is the music that I heard in this movie. This is the, music, a lot of times, for it to really stick, it can benefit from being attached to things or having a conduit that helps it connect to the person. This is how I behave in everything. Like, a lot of the stuff that I've been experiencing in 2020 has felt like it's in a vacuum. Podcasts I've heard, songs I've heard, movies I've watched, friendships I've made or lost, things I've read, everything, nothing feels like it's in time. I feel like the year started, I played a New Year's show with Daedalus, then I saw the Sonic movie, and now I'm here talking to you guys. Like, nothing feels, like, I don't remember what month even, and this sounds horrible, like, I don't remember what month George Floyd was killed in. Like, I don't remember what week these things are happening. I don't remember anything. Like, it just, nothing is, like, sticking. I just kind of feel like I'm just constantly being hit by 2020, and now the election's in 9 days or 8 days or whatever. I just, stuff hasn't like really stuck, and so it's hard to write down anything because my memory is trash now. Anyways, what was I? Yeah, still not journaling though, but trying to get back into the other routine of other things. I made my pretzel sandwich yesterday for the first time in a long time, guys. I hadn't made the pretzel bacon egg, spinach tomato thing in a long time. Yes, I agree with that sentiment, Lindsay. This year has felt very long and short at the same time. This year's been kind of a nightmare. I'm looking forward to getting out of it, but I don't even know exactly what that means. Because December 31st to January 1st, I don't even know, what does that really change? I get a new calendar? Like, I don't know. I don't know when we get out of this, but yeah, this year has felt really weird. And yeah. Anyways, when I talk about the loss of perception of time, I feel like people think I'm joking. I'm not. Yeah, it's a very real thing. I don't think you're joking. I talk about the Groundhog Day syndrome a lot, and I feel like I'm definitely in it. Yeah. Yes. That touches base with a little bit of what I was talking about with this album called Fantasizer. Please pick it up, guys. Pick it up. It's in stores today. It's I love this band. I cannot make this a 3-hour stream, guys. I love this band so much. They're named Freeze Pop. I only know about them because when I was very young, they were in a video game, and I loved the song, so I looked them up online, which was a wild thing to do back then because Twitter didn't exist. Kingdom Hearts All-in-One package, PS4, $29.99, Square Enix store. Word up. Does it come with Melody of Memory or Memory of Melody or whatever? Cyber. Goes back to what I was saying. The Freeze Pop loved the band. Their music got me through. I know this is like a really cliche thing to say, but it got me through a lot. They also were very inspirational for me. They're also musicians. I got to see them at a show in Arizona, one of the first shows I've ever gone to. They told me some very inspirational stuff that I still think about today. So, I got their new album and I haven't listened to it yet because I'm afraid that if I listen to it, in the current mood that I'm in the current state, I won't enjoy it. Isn't that weird? I feel like it's like one of those things where you have food, but you refuse to take the first bite until you can find something on Netflix or find something on TV you want to watch, and while you're looking, your food's getting cold, and you're just like, just eat your food, watch whatever, just eat your food without watching TV. Why do you need entertainment while you eat? I feel that. Like, I'm afraid of like listening to this music in a compromised state and not enjoying it to the fullest. Anytime I think of Groundhog Day, I think of the groundhog being driven off the cliff, says Liana. That makes me very happy. That makes me very happy that that's what you think of. I'm very... When I think of Groundhog Day, it really sucks because it's a sample now in one of my songs. So I very distinctly can hear the like, the voice from the radio. Do you know what I'm talking about, Liana? It's in the Scrumpty song with Cyber. Anyways, that's what I think of first. And then I think of the stupid... I could always think of just that one scene. The final scene when he's just good at everything. What day is this? Yeah. Oh, that's funny. Oh no, Groundhog Day is in that song, so now it's gonna mess me up a little bit. But yeah, I think about the scene where he's just like, I'm good at piano. I know how to make ice sculptures. Everybody loves me. I talked people into getting married. I think about that scene a lot. But the scene of him killing the groundhog is always great. I do love it. I love the I almost said I love the suicide montage. I said it in my head and it sounded really messed up. I don't know how to say that actually, but you guys know what I mean. I like it when he like breaks in the movie and he's just trying to get out of the loop so bad that he's like a toaster in the bathtub. He's driving out cliffs and stuff because he gets there so fast. Like context is everything. So cyber context is so important. Context is so important, and in the internet, it's the it's the first thing to go. Context is the first thing to go in the internet. What day is this? What day is this? Just believing. Oh, when's he supposedly? You know what's whack, Cyber? I sing. Oh, I don't wanna show too much of my hand, but I do sing lyrics to that song now in the bridge, and I sing your supposedly line because I know exactly. I mean, we all know exactly where the supposedly comes in. Supposedly, like it's in that chord, and I sing it in my head, and I'm like, what? It's an earworm, isn't it? Anyways, what's the Badeep? What's that part from? Supposedly. It's Three Ninjas. It's Three Ninjas. It's one of the surfer nerds. I can't remember what exactly he's saying, but I've like chopped it a specific way. But it's one of the surfer punks from Three Ninjas. You know it's sad. Like yeah, people are just singing the song, but it doesn't translate. It's just but now where's my spoon? It's just a bunch of unrelated quotes. Like yeah. Yeah, it's got a cool bridge now. It's got a cool bridge now. In my head. I haven't actually recorded it. Okay, you gotta sing the voice clips when you play, says Umbe. I will lose my mind if I do that. I can do supposedly. I know where supposedly goes. I know where just believing goes. I know where Umbe's sigh goes. I know where Umbe, you're the one asking. I know where your sigh is in the song. Okay. Why did you ask if you guys had seen Free Willy? Where did I ask that? Did I ask that in the stream? I feel like I remember typing that. Oh, it was in the Discord, wasn't it? Was it? You never followed up. Yeah, I'm bad at that. I go into the Discord and I say things, and then when there isn't a response in like 3 minutes, I put my phone down, and then I like go and I do my little like shaker rake dance, and I forget that Discord exists. But the reason I was asking about Free Willy is because there's a very specific scene in Free Willy where the main character, I don't think his name is Willy, pretty sure Willy's the whale. I'm gonna call him Free. There's a scene where Free is like still a skater punk, and he goes back to his like hideout, and I think he steps on a cake or they steal a cake. Please, has anybody seen this movie? I think he's part of like a gang and they steal cakes during the day and they go back to their like skater hideout because in the 90s like every bad group of kids hung out in like a warehouse that had half pipes in it and they were spray painting everything. There was a very specific scene in that movie where I think he's using a piece of the box of cake to eat cake. And I wanted to know if anybody had seen the movie and remember this very specific scene because I had a very specific question about it, and I'm realizing how hyper specific it is now that I'm saying it out loud, so maybe it's better that I didn't bring it up in the Discord. I saw that movie so much as a kid because my brother loved it, but now I can't recall it much. That movie sucked. As somebody that only remembers the scene where they eat cake, I remember 3 scenes. I remember eating cake. I remember the kid talking to what I think is a brown man, and the brown man giving him a little wooden figurine of an orca whale. And then I remember a 3rd scene where Michael Jackson is playing and the Willie jumps over free. But I don't remember if Michael Jackson was actually playing. Anyways, I remember that much, this Leon. Oh my god. Yeah, I haven't seen it, so I can't be of help. Don't see it ever, Lindsay. It's so stupid. It's the dumbest movie. It doesn't mean anything. Kid cares about whale. I don't know. You know what that movie did teach me? It taught me that that big white splotch on orcas is not their eyeball. I thought that was their eye for a really long time, and I can't be alone in this. I thought it was their eye, and when somebody told me where their actual eye was, I was like, then why do they have that big white spot there then? What's that supposed to do? Is that supposed to trick predators? I mean, prey? Or predators? Into thinking that their eyes are bigger? Is it like when the, there's like another animal, right, that does that? Like, part of its, like, design makes it look like it has a big face, and it, like, freaks people out. People are like, oh crap, I was gonna eat you, but I didn't know your face was that big. I don't want to eat no big face. And they, like, run away. I think that's what the orca does. It's been a long time. It's been a long time since I saw that movie. Back to news, guys. The weekend was whatever, chill. I lost a lot of blood. I'm slowly getting it back in the form of water and bacon. I think that we're going to have a very regular stream. Monday through Thursday is going to be fine. Friday is going to be the production stream again. For the people that weren't here in the very beginning of the stream, I wish my face tricked people into leaving me alone. I know my face tricks people into leaving me alone. Although I don't know if it's a trick as much as it is just going like, oh, I don't want to talk to that dude. I think if I didn't... Well, that doesn't work. I can't see myself. I think if I didn't wear glasses, way less people would talk to me. I think my glasses are one of the few disarming things about my appearance. And it makes people go like, oh, a dangerous person wouldn't have bad eyesight. And then they're usually pretty chill. Everybody forgot about, like, Jeffrey Dahmer and whatnot. Wear face masks with blood on them and people will distance themselves. This is true, Cyber. This is very true. They will distance themselves. Something else that I kind of learned is that you... I don't want to say that. Getting back to news. Should be a regular week. This Friday is 250. For those of you that weren't in the beginning of the stream, I did say this a little bit earlier. By the way, really quick pause on that. Thank you guys for liking the stream. I didn't say anything about it. I don't know if anybody in the stream asked people to like the stream, but I do see the likes. That's huge. That really does help me, and I appreciate it. Back to what I was saying. I know that the stream has been... We're in Season 2. We've been in what I refer to as Season 2 for a while now. During the 200th stream, there's a lot of stuff that happened, including a little bit of... improvements and organization put on the production stream. I'm now gesturing to my bedroom studio. On the production stream. In Season 3, there will be some more changes that are onboarded, and there will be some things that are not deleted or gotten rid of, but there will be some things that are maybe improved or changed slightly, very slightly. Nothing that's going to be so jarring or disappointing to people, I hope. But starting at 250, I am going to start building Season 3, the look and feel of what Season 3 is and the schedule of it. And I will also, somewhere deep into the 50s or 260s, 270s, start polling people on what is, to them, the most annoying thing about the stream. What is the thing about the stream that they really wish were changed? I will steel myself so that my feelings will not get hurt, because I know, I am human, and I can be pretty defensive when somebody says, yo, Omni, the thing that you did sucks, and here's how I would make it better. I'll be cool. I promise I'll be cool, but I am gonna open it up to a conversation with the people that have been in the stream for a really long time. Maybe you haven't been here for all 256 or 46. Maybe you haven't even been here for 6 streams. but you have, you say, Omni, you don't have to listen to me, but I personally would love it if the stream had this, or I would love it if the stream did this. And I may not change, to be the thing that you want, but I do want to know what that, what that is. Do I want to do a little something to celebrate 250 streams? I thought about it, but I feel like I'm just so busy this week that I don't feel like I would be able to give enough time to whatever celebrating 250 streams means. Maybe like another movie party. We haven't done that in a really long time. And I did like pay for that, what's it called? I did pay for a subscription to Do, and I just haven't used it since we watched Groundhog Day was the last thing we watched. Yes. But we could do another pizza party. We could do that. That would be fun. That would be fun. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, so from 250 to 300, I will be making slight modifications to the stream. Not ones that you guys see, right? Like think about the production stream. I had bits and pieces of the production stream, but I didn't fully unveil it until I had all the parts. So it went from being like really janky to slightly less janky. And then, I added a second camera angle. Wait, did I? Yes. Did I? Yes. I added a second camera angle. You improve stuff. And so for season 3, I am going to like really try, like Liana said earlier, I might not identify as a streamer, but as far as, technicalities are concerned, I am a streamer, so I would like to make the stream as enjoyable for you guys as possible. So, how can I do that? Again, do not answer that question now. I will have a designated stream later on where I will actually like pull you guys and you guys can come in. It'll be an extra long stream. Maybe I'll make it like a designated 3-hour stream where everybody, and even people that can't make it, I'll like have them, they can send in messages or whatever. Yes. Lindsay says, if you're busy, no pressure. What am I doing this Friday? What am I doing this Friday? Hold on. Can somebody shout out the date of this Friday really quick for me? Sorry. We're in October, right? Is this Friday Halloween? Is that what's happening? Oh, crap. How come these keys don't make a sound? Why was it making a bass sound a second ago? That's trash. I don't like that. Cyber says happy birthday. Day before Halloween, says Liana. Thank you, Liana. It'll be the 30th of October. Which means that Halloween's on a Saturday? Guys, should I do like a spooky stream or something? No, that'll ruin the order. I immediately vetoed my idea. Maybe the pizza party will happen on... Guys, what if we did the... I mean, if you guys have Halloween plans, that's cool. But what if we did the pizza party on Halloween instead and we watched a scary movie? Would that be fun? Would you guys be into that? I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. But that could be cool. I don't really have anything going on Saturday. I mean, it's Halloween and it's quarantine, so trick-or-treaters won't be around. Who has Halloween plans? I don't know. I see mad people like going to the spirit store and buying costumes. Like there was a line outside of Party City yesterday, so I'm like, people are doing something. I don't know what. I'm not, I was kind of sad that I didn't have plans. I'm going to have a Halloween movie night with my friends, says Ava. Ooh, we'll have fun. Oh, the time difference. Maybe we could do both. Maybe. But I don't want to exhaust you. You might be all movied out, I don't know. We'll talk about it more tomorrow. How about that? Because maybe we won't have it on Halloween. Maybe we'll have it the day before Halloween, like a true Pizza Party Friday. Guys, I have some music out. The first one is called Signals. It has some like beboppy jazz stuff, which I actually didn't play too much in today's stream. So check that out. I have another EP called Tall Tales, which is very experimental music. It has something called Beneath the City on it, which probably is not one of the most experimental intros, but it gets kind of weirder later in the song. Also, I have an EP by the name of House of Omni, in which I make a bunch of songs with people who have lived in my apartment with me. It's actually kind of nice, a little wholesome, but stylistically it changes a lot from song to song because not every artist who has stayed in my apartment makes the same type of music. I see the comment Candy Pizza, and I do want to read into whatever the heck that is, but I'm gonna keep pressing on through the music news. Now I'm gonna get to the Dream series, starting with Nice Dream, which is like indie pop. Check that out. I also have a love pop series called Love Dream, followed by Speed Dream, which is like a short story about street racers where I made all the music for it. Followed by Daydream, which is like orchestral, like break beats and drum and bass, and features the artist Azuria Sky. And that is followed by Lush Dream, which is my longest piece of work. I think it's 33 tracks, like 100 minutes of music. It's all chill, like down tempo, laid back beats, stuff that you can kind of put on in the background while you're working on things. We had somebody come in earlier that mentioned the song Coliseum. Ayush was talking about, and that song is from Lush Dream. Lush Dream was followed by a companion EP series called Ego Death and Quick Breath. The other way around. It was Quick Breath, Ego Death. Quick Breath came out first. It has like more housey, like chill dance stuff. Like 125 stuff you can like bop and move to, but it's not too hyper. It's still chill in nature. And then it was followed by Ego Death, the companion EP, which was very ambient, very also chill, but like a different type of somber, sad chill, if that makes sense. You can hear all of these on Bandcamp, SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, Google Play, Amazon MP3, Tidal, Group, Deezer, Pandora, Napster, and YouTube. Please check them out. We're on YouTube right now, where you can listen to Quarantunes, which is an 8-song-long series of songs that I made in quarantine, and also shot the videos around my bedroom. Also, guys, I do have music videos for like almost all of the Lush Dream songs, and I have like a bunch of remix videos that I've made, so check those out too. Just a lot of fun stuff on the YouTube. I haven't really been uploading a lot of videos outside of the stream stuff lately. I've kind of really, like, my entire output, guys, and this deep into quarantine is just morning medley. It's just morning medley, So, I will come back at full force, but I don't think that's going to be this year. So if you guys can just like stick with me for another X amount of months until we get to 2021 and I figure out what the heck the landscape is, then we can start talking about other stuff. But for right now, I'm just really happy that everybody's cool with the morning medley, the way it's going. My cat is on my lap. His front paws are on my shoulder. Slugging into my chin, says Ava. Says Omni is mean bully for not liking cats. Well, I'm impressed that your cat can speak English. What's your cat's name, Ava? Is this the vet cat? Is this the cat that you were taking to the vet a bunch? Some of my friends are buying costumes dressing up, but we're having a party digitally. Man, people. It's so interesting seeing people. Seeing what people need and seeing how bad they need it and what they're willing to do to get what they need. It's interesting seeing that in 2020. I think I've had some versions of that as well. Less than some people. Like, I've seen people that are going like drive-in raves, and I'm like, the idea of a drive-in rave is officially ridiculous to me. And I don't mean that in offense of anybody who loves drive-in raves. It's super cool, but just for me personally, it's like, oh my god, not a thing that I'm gonna do. But there definitely have been some things in quarantine, I'm sure, that I've done both physically or emotionally that somebody else will look at and be like, yo, Omni is like hurt. Like, he clearly misses like being out in the world, and he's doing some really weird, wild stuff to like emulate the real world. Maybe like streaming every day for several hours. I don't know. Anyways, Ava says the name is Lucky. Oh, Lucky Charms. Lucky for short. Word up. Twitter is trending saying Little Pump is supporting Trump. I'm about to flip. That's pretty funny. Is it funny? I mean, I don't know. I've officially gone into like, my brain is broken, but is that funny? I mean, Pump rhymes with Trump. That's what my brain did. When you said it, when you said those words, my brain said, well, of course. You can't both have names that end in ump and not support each other. I realize that this is not a basis for support. And I had very low expectations from Little Pump. Um, so I'm not blown away. But I don't know, Stream Gucci. I named my first cat as a kid Butterscotch, and I've named every cat since after food. This I appreciate, Ava. I do not like cats, but this I like. I like both tradition, and I also like naming things after food. See, nice dream. Lindsay says, I'm dog sitting, house sitting this weekend, so it would be real nice to do something virtually. Word up, Lindsay. Taken into consideration. Another vote for the Halloween movie night. Living in San Diego, says it. Sorry. Californian sees SD and thinks San Diego. Living in South Dakota is knowing the majority of strangers support Cheeto fingers. It's a bad look. What are you talking about, Ava? The number one thing I will never understand is people's need to say slurs. Just not a... Ava, where are you going? Ava, I thought you were talking about Lucky Charms. Wait, okay, San Diego, South Dakota, Cheeto fingers. Racial slurs. Oh, we're talking about Lil Pump. Wait, is Lil Pump from South Dakota? Oh my god, I'm so stupid. Is that where Lil Pump's from? I mentioned that's not surprising because he's one of those people. Yay! Wait, hold on. Is Lil Pump from South Dakota? That shouldn't be funny to me. I'm not making fun of people from South Dakota, but is that a thing? Oh, wait, did you say that? Hold on. I don't have my mouse, so I have to actually touch my screen. It makes me uncomfortable. Okay. Did I miss where you said Little Pump is from South Dakota? I swear I didn't. I swear I didn't. Did you say that? Because I'm not saying it. Living in South Dakota is not the majority of strangers support. Oh, yeah, my bad. Okay, I would like to make a full-scale apology. I would like to make a full-scale apology to Ava for reading fast and making a wild judgment call. I am basically Twitter. I have done the Twitter thing in a less harmful way. But what I thought is that Ava said living in South Dakota in some way had normalized people with Cheeto fingers. And so I thought, oh, okay. Yeah, screw Cheeto fingers. That's disgusting. And then Ava said, was talking about people using racial slurs. We're talking about Little Pump. But Ava lives in a conservative state, which I was also born and raised in. So yes, Ava, I appreciate you there. Arizona and San Diego, Arizona and South Dakota can't be too different, right? One's Midwest, one's Southwest, but both very red. And as far as Little Pump supporting Donald Trump, to say I'm disappointed would imply that I expected anything from Little Pump. Call me a hypocrite because, homie did make the song Gucci Gang, and that is a lot of my plays on YouTube. But, he's been kind of annoying for a while, right? Little Pump's been kind of, annoying for a while, so, this is just another, him being annoying. Whatever. Whatever. We're a hut shower at, says Liana. I haven't gotten through all the news. I keep getting distracted. Okay. I hate San Diego. I hate South Dakota, but it's not that bad here, says Ava. Is that the one that has Mount Rushmore? Do you get that a lot, Ava? Do people ask you that a lot? Is yours the one that has Mount Rushmore? Yeah, I failed. I failed. I'm gonna go ahead and blame you guys though. If you guys made a boring stream, I wouldn't. I wouldn't get so. Wait, wait. You're not answering my question, Ava. TPs and Buffalo. Is it the Mount Rushmore one or not? North Dakota has Bismarck and Fargo, and South Dakota has Mount Rushmore, I think. Bismarck, North Dakota. I remember the capitals. I had to memorize them in 5th grade. I'm saying in the U.S., it's not. Overseas, it is. Oh my god, it's not. Why are you introducing a duality? It's not, though, right? Like in Florida, I got asked about teepees and buffalo. Whether or not we had cars. What? Florida, overseas, they asked about Mount Rushmore. In Florida, you went to Florida, and they didn't realize you, in my limited experience, I've been to Florida, Canada, Nevada, etc., and never got a mountain MT question? That stands for Mount Rushmore, right? How? Shouldn't it be MR? I guess that's Mr. I can't read into context clues because it's just space. I'm so tired. Okay, but Japan, Korea, they don't know what South Dakota is, so I brought up Mount Rushmore myself to explain where it is. I don't know, it's weird. I still don't know if Mount Rushmore is in South Dakota. It is, though, right? Ava? It is there, right? Okay, it is there. Pretty sure it's north of, if I'm not mistaken. Umbe, stop it! Umbe, don't! Umbe! It's smack in the middle. A bit north? It's smack in the middle and a bit north of South Dakota. It's in South Dakota. What you're saying is when you go outside of the country, people need Mount Rushmore as context. But in the country, people don't? What do people... In the country, they're asking if you got teepees and buffalo? I don't know. That's the only thing I know about Dakotas is Mount Rushmore. That's weird that people in our own country, and these great United States of America, that people aren't asking about that mountain that's got homies on it. Freaking George Washington, freaking Abraham Lincoln, freaking Benjamin? Maybe? Benjamin Franklin? Oh, uh-oh. Benjamin? Benjamin? Why am I saying Benjamin? I don't think it's actually pronounced Benjamin. Benjamin. American tourists are very familiar with Mount Rushmore, so they don't think it's interesting. Oh. Most people don't know about states other than the ones they lived in. That's fair. That's fair. Most people don't travel a lot. I think as somebody that did a lot of traveling, and people that also did a lot of traveling, usually when I said I was from Arizona, people would bring up the Grand Canyon because that is one of the, the things. Nobody would ever mention anything in Arizona besides Grand Canyon and cactus, which, coexist. There's cactus inside the Grand Canyon, so That's fair. But they tend to ask about Native Americans, Buffalo, Lewis and Clark, Sacagawea. Whoa! I would never. Isn't desecration of a native landmark, though, says Liana? It is. It is, Liana. It is, but I hear Mount Rushmore is like the Hollywood sign, really small compared to TV and not nearly as exciting. Yeah, I mean, we saw it because Trump spoke at it. This stream has been 3 hours. Trump went and he had a speech or a rally at Mount Rushmore, and you got to see it from an aerial view compared to like cars and stuff, and I was like, oh, that thing's tiny as heck. But it is George Washington, who is, he's one of the founding fathers. He's one of the double F's, baby. Right? And then Abraham Lincoln, which, yep. And Benjamin Franklin, or Franklin Roosevelt. Somebody else is on that mountain. There's 4 heads. Hokage number 5. I think it's Benjamin Franklin. I am aware it's unfinished. Can somebody tell me the 4th person? Possibly the 3rd? I think I've gotten it wrong. Will I play Hush Hour? I thought that Naruto joke was going to go under the radar. Sorry, Leona. Okay, so Umbe's laughing, so I'm guessing it's not Benjamin Franklin. As in, take a trail to get above it, not rock wall climbing. Oh, that's good. That's easy on the legs, Ava. Wait, is it Franklin? Ooh, Umbe, am I right? Mount Rushmore is dumb. Whatever. No. I want to know who's on these mountains. I've gone to the Corn Place more often. Corn Palace. No, you did say Corn Palace. I'm so glad that we all live in different places. This stream is really educational for me in a weird way. Washington, George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, Franklin Delano. I was right. It was Roosevelt. Well, and Franklin? Wait, it was both of them? I was pretty good. Benjamin Franklin and Franklin Delano Roosevelt? Benjamin Franklin Delano Roosevelt? Sick. Whenever I play Hush Hour, I do think of China, but I also kind of think about jewelry. I feel like it would be cool in like a jewelry commercial, like their silhouettes. And you remember the Jared commercials where there was like 2 silhouettes and they were like doing this like weird like iPhone thing, and then you would see like a diamond go onto the lady finger, and the lady was like, and it was like, have you gone to freaking Jared's Jewel or whatever? It has like that sound, like. I've got a ring. Will you marry me? Sounds like that to me. Oh, sorry, Lindsay hates those commercials. My bad. You said Ben Franklin, wrong Frank. Ben Franklin. Wait, who was it? Washington, Lincoln, Roosevelt, and Franklin. Oh wait, which Franklin then? You're just saying Franklin. It's not Ben Franklin? Who's... Oh, Franklin Roosevelt. No, you said Roosevelt, Washington, Lincoln, and Jefferson. Okay. Oh my god. Alright. Honestly, I bet there's an alternate universe with Franklin on it. Franklin feels like a president when you're taught U.S. history. Thank you, Umbe. I thought he was. Isn't he on money? Ava says a lot of people got hurt making it. They essentially taped TNT onto the mountain and got the base of the sculpture done. Lots of unpaid labor. Very unethical. Little finger wag from Ava at this awful big rock with people's heads on it. It's weird that it still exists, right? Remember when we were toppling all the statues? We should have got rid of that. I'm sorry, Cyber. I am going to get out of here. I am on my way out of here. Lots of unpaid labor. The Ford is Thomas Jefferson. I remembered wrong, says Ava. Benjamin Franklin was dope because he was a printer. He was a human. Lindsay says The Who. It's a band. But you know that's the U.S. in general, so whatever. This is true. Today I will desecrate a holy mountain and not even finish the thing I was building. That's what Mount Rushmore is. Don't topple. It's a sacred place for Native Americans, and they don't want further destruction. Respect that. I can get on board with that. Word up, Ava. Ava says the thing to do is give the land back to the natives and let the faces fade and wear naturally. Oh, I do like that. That's nice. You know, Mother Nature wins in the end, right? I wasn't talking about The Who, the band, says Lindsay. You were talking about the race. There were Black Whos. I'm just now remembering. There were Black Whos in Whoville. I don't understand if that actually was a race. They had a lot of races folded into it. Was it like elves? Were there Black elves and dark elves? Sorry, dark-skinned elves? I don't know what the proper term is. I think Lord of the Rings had those, or World of Warcraft, one of them. Anyways, I am familiar, Lindsay. Ava says that's brutal. What? That Mother Nature wins in the end? She can have it. She can have the mountain. I'm so sorry that you are still here, Cyber. I'm sorry. I'm out of here. It's been way too long. We got to get a stranglehold. I realize now that I'm not as in control of the stream as I thought I was, which is a change that I'm willing to make in the future. I think that I'm at the whim of the people in the stream, and if the people in the stream are talking about something interesting, I'll sit here until like my tummy growleth. So I have played a shower. Really quickly, Ava says, to be fair, the Native Americans do technically own that land. We just kind of use it anyway. So, I mean, isn't that true with this whole dang country? God dang, right? And here we are. Coachella, baby. I want to thank everybody for being in this stream, especially this long. It's been a very long one, guys. I do try to get out of here. Cyber's dead. I'm sorry, Cyber. Are you hungry? I don't know why Cyber's dead. I feel like Cyber has expired because the stream has gone too long. Either way, I apologize to Cyber. Also, thank you guys for your patience. I will let you know more about the pizza party, and as well as the like poll conversation survey thing I'm gonna have with you guys talking about season 3 of Morning Medley. I will be on Discord. I turned on my Discord notifications, but somehow I'm still not getting notifications for it. So if you're gonna say something on Discord, even if it's not to me, just tag me if you want me to see it, because I will see it then. Okay. Yeah, I got a little confused in the conversation, and I apologize to everyone. Blame it on the blood loss. But thank you, as always, guys, for being very respectful to me, even through some of the difficult stuff, through some of the trying conversations. And also thank you for being respectful and polite to each other, which is maybe even more important. There is a newer person, Ayush, and everybody was very nice and welcoming to that person. So I appreciate you guys. Hopefully, I see you here tomorrow for what should be a stream that's at least an hour shorter for Morning Medley number 247. And as Liana says, remember to drink water. Abo, guys, enjoy the rest of your Monday. I gotta make a smoothie. I forgot to make my smoothie before the stream today. I'm freaking hungry too. Make like a waffle. Make a waffle or something. It's not turning off. Oh